Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Ashe. I just say a prayer to my Ori, yeah. When I wake, I sprinkle some OT, yeah. I can break the chains cause I'm free, yeah. My Egun is watching over me, yeah. Kneeling down, I'm praying at the shrine. All it takes is just a little time. Ancestors sending me some signs. I can see, but surely I was blind. I got a shoe, I got Ogun, I got Oya, I got Oshun, I got the sun, I got the moon, I got Oyin, I got Ofun, yeah. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Ashe. Cool my head and then I throw the Obi. All white or till I'm holy. People thinking that they really know me. Say you speak the truth, you gotta show me. Wisdom coming straight from a Rumila. Tap you on your shoulder, he's pursuing ya. Oyimbo up in that village trying to ruin ya. Trying to ruin ya. Trying to ruin ya. I got a shoe, I got Ogun, I got Oya, I got Oshun, I got the sun, I got the moon, I got Oyin, I got Ofun, yeah. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Ashe. Sharpshooter, focus like a Chelsea. Coming out the temple, smelling smoky. Trying to find my way like a shoe. Dressed in yellow, y'all, that's all blue. Big coming, that's my crew. All I really need is just a few. Wanna see Orisha look at you. Not just what you say, but what you do. I got a shoe, I got Ogun, I got Oya, I got Oshun, I got the sun, I got the moon, I got Oyin, I got Ofun, yeah. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Iwapele, Iwapele. Live tomorrow, build your character today. Ashe.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome to Ocean Yemi's open panel. I'm gonna put the link into the chat. Whoops. Why do I always do it? So that was just a little bit of my personality playing it. I didn't know loads of people knew of that other lady, Oshunfumi. Oshunfemi, sorry. Um Wolf Hawk Jaguar's wife. Um I like their music so much. I rather listen to them than any other music most of the time because I more connect with them. I don't know why, but and Richard Raw, my favorite guy, and yeah. So today is an open panel, so we can voice our opinions on past videos if we like, or we could just talk about other things. It's cool. It's down. It's cool with me. Um, don't necessarily have to talk about YP really. I mean, though he is the levels of conversation now. So Yeah, I'm just trying this because I have the chat on two platforms right now, Twitter and YouTube right about now. So people from Twitter is watching you right now because I thought I'm not gonna broadcast it on Facebook. So yeah, so basically, um, I'm gonna put out one video actually of the Galagichi people, okay? Because that's a nice opening. It's nice. It's not really a lecture. It's just a little music video that the Galagichi people did.
Let you see what God tell Honifa to. The Black church was the creation of a Black people whose daily existence was an encounter with the overwhelming and brutalizing reality of white power. For the slaves, as I would say enslaved, but he has it written as slaves, it was the sole source of personal identity and the sense of community. Though enslaved people had no social, economic, or political ties as a people, they had one humiliating factor in common: serfdom. The whole of their being was engulfed in a system intent on their annihilation as persons. Their responses to this overwhelming fact of their existence ranged from suicide to outright rebellion. But few slaves committed suicide. Most refused to accept the white master's definition of Black humanity and rebelled with every ounce of humanity in them. The Black church became the home base for revolution. Some slaves even rebelled to the point of taking up arms against the white world. Others used the church as a means of transporting the enslaved to less hostile territory. Now, I'm going to tell you what transported my ancestors, even in the midst of hostile territory. And many of them were amongst those that left the plantation islands, went to other places. Just like Mbakayara Jihadi Maroons, Auntie, Maroonage na unfamiliar to we, Wabigalagichi. Our Maroonage took a different form because we're not in a mountainous territory. We would leave from plantation islands and go across the water. God going trouble the water, get away. Chile Jordan, get away. Oh, Chile Jordan, get away. Chile Jordan, I want for cross over for see my Lord. When I could have yet all these yeti at the water, as we know the water to bring we, the water going to take we back. Take we back to God. Take we back to where we know how far. And then the day, oh, we pray that this your water could take Hannah too. So Hannah going to know what to do. So many people know that you are yet me to sing many, many places across the world. Even in the UN, I've sang because that's what God directed me to do. And so it was interesting that God directed me to Cohen's book too. So I want to share with you what I read just today in preparation for this journey, because I thought I had something else to share with you today, and I'll share that next week. But here is what you find, but you have to first seek. Sometimes it is forgotten that not all of the spirituals are otherworldly and compensatory. Some are protesting and rebellious in character, comparing their own enslavement with Israelite bondage in Egypt. They sang, "Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land, and tell old Pharaoh, let my people go." He said even more militant was, "Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, by me." He said the black slave knew that to fight for freedom is to do the work of God. For him, death was preferable to life, if the latter must be in slavery. Consequently, he sang, he wrote, but I say she sang, "Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be on a slave, I go and be buried my grave, and going home to my God and be free." Other spirituals that relieve the slave's determination to relate Christianity to a life of freedom in the world where I'm going to lay down my life for my Lord.
Yeah, so I mean, we know Christianity did enslave the people anyway. So I like to hear Queen Quite. She is a very powerful woman. Every time I look her up, I see how powerful she is. She is a very powerful spirit, and I'm gonna do another build on her separately anyway. But I just give you a little bit of touch of her because she has done a lot of stuff. This woman, tell you, this woman is very powerful. This woman called Queen Quite of the Gullah Geechee. She's done a lot of work. I think the video I did of her previously did not suffice who she is. It didn't show exactly who she is. When I properly went into her stuff, properly looking around, because at first they were fighting to get the land. I think they did lose it, but I'm not even sure because the with the internet, unless you know somebody who knows the person, you can find out the information directly. And she was fighting for one. There's a piece of land they've been fighting for a while. This land. They have a house on the land. That's the bit where you see her talking to the people and explaining about the different herbs on the land and the different trees on the land. She can more or less pinpoint every herb, every tree, every bush. She knows them, every single one of them. Right? She is a very, very, very interesting woman. Very interesting, to be honest. And I wished, on one hand, I knew about her earlier because though you hear her singing those spirituals and talking about God and God and God and God, but she talks a lot about ancestors and a lot about um, the richness of the Gullah Geechees, which is the indigenous people. And she really goes in. She has actually traveled, toured all over. She's been in certain places that even I would not even know she would be privileged. Like she's privileged or privileged, or probably the people is privileged to have her, because she has this old spirit vibes about her as well, you know. There's just an old spirit about her. She just, I don't know. I can't even put into words. I don't think there's any words I can say I could put to explain her in one sentence, you know. So this one was a Zoom that she was on, and she was explaining about the spirituals and the church and all that stuff, you know, as you do, you know, because like people always link enslaved to the church and certain stuff and how they gather their strength. Whether people care to believe or not, or whatever is neither here nor there, right? But the thing is that she explains it in such a way, because I think she is one of those whose people was brought up on the land to which she was associated with. Um, I actually have another video of her in doing her stuff. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to turn this into a speech video. I really want it to be an open panel, to be honest. So I'm going to show you another bit of her, because I wanted to do a separate video of her, but because I played that music earlier, I feel she's more fitting, because she's like an ancestor in her own rights. She's like a living ancestor, and people should be saluted when they're alive and not when they're dead. I really believe that. Though I love graveyards and stuff like that and all that stuff, but I believe people should be saluted when they're alive. You know, it shouldn't be when they're dead. Dick Gregory and John Henry Clark, and people just remember them like when they died. Now, this lady, she's done works. She's done a lot of works. And when you look her up and you see all the stuff she's done, all the bits and bobs and extras, it's like, wow, she is amazing. She's absolutely amazing. I mean, I know there is men doing work out there too, but it seems like there's certain ones that seem to pop up a lot. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to turn this into a speech video. I really want people to come up and talk. Just be open and talk, you know, talk your mind, you know. I mean, I've never done an open panel, but it'd be interesting to see how this works, because if I can run this, then I can run others. But I'm just, when you're just touching the water properly, like. So people can come up and voice their opinions or on certain things. I was trying to hopefully get the ones who was going up against Christine to come up. I even seen a guy made a comment about the video where I talked about Peckham Finest, which I have to bring up again. But the thing is that when you open up the panels and stuff like that, those ones who comment doesn't never come forward, never. Or maybe they do come forward. Maybe they be in the bushes. I don't know what it is, but it's just interesting to me. So, like I said, I mean, the beginning of Queen Quiet video, I really like that part. The part where it went to before, I don't know, but I personally like the beginning of the video anyway. So, with that said, I've already put the link into the chat. I should actually do the pin in it on the top. Where is it? I don't know. I can't even see if it's pinned. Oh, there you go. So it's pinned on the top, and it's a open panel. I see Big Philly Dogs here, Saida, Miss Wise. Oh, you're driving and listen. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really want to be doing a speech one really. I just want people to come in, and talk, etc. I did put up. There was something that happened in London. I think it was. There's been a few deaths in London as well. I put up a video with 2 boys being violent on the buses over here. I think today. So yeah, I definitely don't want to hear the sound of my voice today. I give my voice a rest. So anybody that wants to come up, you can come up, or I'll just play the music until somebody does. You know, I'm not gonna go in. Oh yeah. Also, oh yeah. Oh, hi, Optimus Prime. Also, there's this really lovely lady I got to tell you about. Remember Sister Amazon? Whoever was in the chat when Sister Amazon came, you must really go to her channel. Her channel is really interesting. Really interesting. I went there and we had such a nice little talk. She interviews people, and then she writes like poems according to the energy or whatever she picks up. She writes the poems or words fitting to, okay, Miss Wise, to your energy, and then she sends it to your email. And she's really nice. She's actually from the indigenous. She's an indigenous as well, actually, and it's really it's like a different channel. It's like it's different. So I went there. It was really nice, because I've normally look at Sister Alma sometime and I don't stick around, or I dip in, dip out, whatever. I happened to be there one day, and she was interviewing this lady. I think she was of South American descent, and when she finished talking to her, she wrote like a little. She made a little, like a picture in the background and words to whatever the interview was. It was so nice. Yeah, basically, what I'm saying, basically, those who's in the chat, you can also go to her channel. There's Big Philly Dog. He's an open panel. He does open panels on a regular. All right. So you can go up and you can just talk, you can reason. There's a whole lot of reasoning be going on sometimes, some deep as well. So there's Big Philly Dog, there's Chris Cypers, there's Godbody, there's Cosmo Kid, there's Real Talk TV. Who else is there? I'm trying to remember all of them. There's Tripsies, there's Remel. Optimus Prime is now starting to do a few things on his channel too. There's him. There's Lavon Says. I think he does like positive messages. Sometimes you need to be around certain channels to just open you up to different things sometimes. Obviously I follow the Nature Boy. The I think one Nature Boy channel I follow, actually 2. There's Real Talk D, I think her name is, and Nosy Bitch. She's quite funny to watch because she really takes the mickey out of Nature Boy while she's watching him. And oh yeah, Miss Wise also have a channel as well. I don't know whether Saida have one, but yeah, those are the ones oh yes, and then there's Cola James. I can't remember all of them, but oh yeah, Peanut Nola 504 Indigenous. Who else is there? There's a lot. Honestly, there's a lot. I don't think I can list half of who I follow right now because there is a lot. There's a lot of wisdom out there, you know. So, yeah. So this is an open panel, like I said. I'm not going to be talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, because I'm always talking. I get tired of my sound of my voice. Okay, so the most I might do is play tune to someone passing and come true. So I'm gonna put back up my ladies. Hold on until someone comes true, because I don't want to go into speech mode. Because if I go into speech mode, then I'll be talking to myself. So Optimus Prime, the stage is open. Miss Wise, the stage is open when you're home properly. Saida, Christine, Real Talk is busy at present. Trips, I know Trips was on last night and today. I know she was busy. Ramel is busy because it's Thanksgiving in the Americas right now, pre-Thanksgiving over there. I don't do Christmas and all that, so I don't really watch them things there. But so I know people's dealing with the turkeys, whatever else they're doing, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, basically it's an open panel. You can speak. I mean, I could probably bust open a few topics, but I don't want to be the one to start it today, you know. So what's it call it? The panel's open. He's come true. Okay, I'll just put up my ladies then in the meantime, because I don't know how far I can push YouTube, because YouTube might push back. Let me see. So I'll wait until people settled in to come in. I'll play the music in the meantime until you pop up. I'm going to turn off my mic for the time being. Oh yeah, before I forget, I'm also gonna have a moment to remember Malcolm X's daughter. So that's on the books. That's a video of a stream I'm gonna do. I'll probably do a short one. I don't think there's a lot to do with that one, but if you're about even for that, that'd be great. So I thought I just could jump in and say that. So whenever you're ready, just pop up on the touch the link, and then we'll start from there. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna look up some stuff while I'm here, while I'm waiting for people.
Uh-oh. Let me turn the camera off. Hmm, let me see. Hold on, because I don't know if you can hear me. I got to
Yeah, I
set
can
this
hear.
thing. Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm in the midst of doing something, and I really don't want to show myself right now either because I look a mess. I've been running around here cooking all day. It's a mess.
It's
It's a mess.
okay. It's
But I
okay.
came out in the backyard for a minute just to sit down and take a breather. Take a
Mm-hmm.
breather. What do you want to talk about? I wonder what happened to on Restream. I have an avatar and everything. I don't know why it came up blank. It's so weird.
Yeah, yeah, but Trips was having problem with it this afternoon. That's what I noticed. That's why I had to double check everything before I come on. I think Restreams there's something going on with it because I with
Yeah, like it just took out my avatar and everything.
yeah, because StreamYard normally plays up. It's normally the Restream normally don't play up.
Yeah, like it's so weird. Like but I got a normal avatar,
Hmm.
the one that I use, but I guess I'll just put something else there. I don't know. I'll trip with it later. Um, how you been doing, Yemi?
I've been okay. I've been okay. I thought to myself, let me just do the open panel because like I can see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna find another subject to talk about, then I won't get to the open panel to see if I can deal with it. You know?
Yeah. It's like, you have a lot of good content, I feel like, on your panel. And I try to come through as much as possible to support. I
Hmm.
think it's maybe the hours or what have you. I'm
Yeah,
not certain, but you know, I see people come through and shout out and stuff, so that's good.
yeah. I'm cool with that still because I think because I've gathered a lot of people that have been around as well. I think that helped as well. So I'm cool with that still, because like I said, was it yesterday or Sunday or Monday? I went to Sister Amma's one yesterday. Amazon, her name is yeah, Amazon, and she was really cool. I was like, wow.
Well, me, I've been like going around to different panels and stuff, and I'm really happy because that's initially how I started off, anyways.
Mm,
Um, I stumbled across a lot of great people that way,
mm,
and I think like that's like my mojo. You know what I mean? I go and see what everybody's talking about, from the ratchet to the um spiritual, to
mm,
the to the great thinkers and stuff, and
mm.
it's pretty good. Like I like it. I enjoy that.
Yeah. I think YouTube's really it has its different sections of people doing different things, and yeah, I think that's what makes it interesting um because I watch a lot of mukbangers when I'm ready. I can sit and watch mukbangers. Only recently I started watching Trinidadian movies just recently and Jamaican movies, so I've kind of just stuck to that sometimes for a little while to take me out of the zone. This was something different.
Oh, you've been watching Jamaican movies. Hi, Miss Wise. I didn't see you. I'm looking in the messages now. You know, I am so brand new. I am so new.
Nah, it's nice though, because as soon as I started going into the Jamaican movies, I started seeing a whole heap of different recommendations coming up. Most of the recommendations I had is changed so much, and I was telling Nosy, like, this is one called Nosy Bitch.
Hello.
Hello, Can you hear me?
Mm-mm-mm.
Is it gone? Is it gone?
Give me 1 second because you might be able to hear me and I can't hear you. But what it
Oh,
is that if somebody calls, it will like do some weird thing where I can't hear you.
oh, okay.
I don't know why ain't nobody been calling. I'm gonna drop off and come right back on.
All right then. Okay. Yeah, we just give it a minute. But yeah, there is some interesting people on this YouTube here. The most unusual to the usual is quite nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. I put it on airplane mode so like hopefully won't nobody come shooting in on the phone call. I have an iPad and another notebook thingy,
Mm,
right? But I don't use those, and I was thinking I probably should use that. That might be better and stuff. But then everybody was like, "Oh," I said I was going to go out and just buy a laptop, especially for this situation, because my other devices are used for work and different things, and I don't want to
mm.
like crisscross scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that's just how I feel, and but I've been so like slow about it. I've been talking about this forever. And I know I'm a procrastinator. I'll just be like, as long as this phone will work, I swear I'll ride this phone out. Until one day I'll just be like, oop, okay, I'm gonna do this. I do that all the time and it's ridiculous. That needs to be like on my New Year's resolution to but stop procrastinating. But I wanna say that this year I'm way better than I was the year before.
Mm,
It's like a disease. You know what I mean? I'm fighting
yeah.
it. I'm fighting it to the fullest. I was
Mm,
doing that today. Like even today, I was shopping for my niece. Her birthday falls on Thanksgiving sometimes,
mhm,
and I've been knowing her birthday is coming up. Like, why would I wait to the last minute? And so then I'm like going through all these stores and stuff, right?
mm,
And everything's flying off the shelves because this is the season, right? I'm
yeah.
thinking this made no entire sense. Like me, this last minute, everything with me, this makes no sense.
Oh, oh. That's how it is sometimes, though, isn't it? And you know.
Yeah, well, it would make sense to you because like you have young ones, and so I think like when your children are younger,
Mm,
things do be left to last minute sometimes because you got so much other stuff occupying. For
yeah.
me, it just doesn't make any sense. Period. Like, girl, what are you doing? So, oh, did you happen to catch Ramirez live today? Because I
Yeah,
missed that.
yeah, I did. I did catch it. It was really interesting. They said that he got more charges and he might not come out because it's holidays or something like that.
So, is he still in there or did he get bailed out?
I think he got bail, but he's not allowed around. He's not around. He's not allowed around Golden Beauty, and he's not allowed to be on the social media.
Yeah, because somebody else like was talking about that like that's not today but the day before,
Hmm.
like another channel was speaking on it, and so that's why I was trying to ask Ramiro, do you know about this and that, but he ended the live right when I had said that. And
Hmm.
so anyways, they probably knew or maybe I missed it because I was kind of in and out of that live. Like I
Hmm.
had so many things going on swirling around me, so I don't know, but I do try to like, get to the panels and, or get to people's lives and support and stuff. And
Yeah, same. I'm the same
so what
too.
do you think about the Ahmaud Arbery verdict?
I think it's good because at first I was thought it would be just like how the young boys one ended up, so I wasn't really expecting much to be honest. But
Yeah.
when I heard it was guilty, I'm glad it's come that way because they killed him in cold blood basically, and the Albury these deserve well, like me and my justice talk, I understand already, like so I think they got what they deserved.
Yeah, because like I haven't really I was gonna go on Empower Esquire,
Mm,
and I've been hearing little rumblings, but I was like moving around, so everybody was calling me like Saida, da 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 da. And
mm,
so anyways, I think it was 9, 8, and 8. Like
mm.
was it the father who got all nine charges, got hit with all nine of them, or was it the son?
I can't remember who exactly it was because all I heard when I went to Trip C's, all I heard was guilty, guilty, guilty. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I heard when I got on her channel. So
Yeah, it was like 9, 8, and 8. So somebody got hit with all nine, and
mm,
then two got hit with, oh no, it's either 9, 8, and 7. But
mm,
pretty much they got the gambit. And I'm really happy for that because what killed me is that whole dirty toenail thing.
mm,
And this is my perspective on that.
mm.
Okay, so I don't know if you ever seen that movie Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the older version and the newer version, but let's go with the newer versions, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And remember when when they were coming down the streets and stuff, and all those people got scared? Like
mm,
that's the depiction that she was trying to give of him, like a zoo animal got loose, right? And
mm,
they went out of their way to take it down. Like,
hmm.
he had dark, dingy toenails. You know what I mean? And
So,
the
ba-
first
so,
thing
ba-
they
so basically, she's trying to make the victim the the worst ever. Can't think of the word. Like character assassinate him.
Right. She was character assassinating him, but she was sending out a dog whistle. Okay, so this is the
Mhm,
thing. That was a straight up dog whistle because
mhm,
most of the people on the jury were white, right? I
mhm,
think there
mhm,
was one person who wasn't. And
mhm,
so that was a dog whistle as to say there was this, wild, raged, insane black man running down your streets, and they had to get him out of there. You know what I mean?
mm,
And that just reminds me of that Planet of the Apes movie and the way she depicted his toenails. Now, did anybody ever think, well, maybe his toenails was dirty because one, he was running from these fools, and then
mm,
two, when they shot him, that blood might have got caught up on his toenails.
mhm,
You see what I'm
mhm.
saying? If they were
Yeah,
dirty. And
yeah.
then that's if they were, because they might have not been. But either way, what did that have to do with anything? So that was a whole dog whistle as to say, this was like, when you think of animals, they're all on fours and stuff, and their paws and stuff, and their hands and whatever, their limbs, they be dirty, right? They're dirty
Mm,
because they're walking around on their knuckles and all that kind of stuff. And so that's what she was doing. She was sending out a straight dog whistle.
mm,
And I really hope and pray that this woman gets fired from her job, for one. Whoever her employer is. I don't know if she works for the state, or if she's like, I think she works for the state. She needs to be fired, for one, and
yeah.
never rehired again, because that was ridiculous.
Hmm.
And I don't know who put that. I think I really think her depicting him that way was what actually caused the jury to find him guilty. Had she not done that, I
Mm,
think I think that was the I think she sealed the coffin for them, really truthfully. I feel. Others might feel differently, but I feel like her doing that,
mm,
and she sent that dog whistle out, and apparently the people that were on that panel, on the jury, I want to say,
mm,
more than likely, though they were all white people, they probably, I guarantee you, a few of them have like black grandchildren, or you know what I mean, or
mm,
son-in-law or daughter-in-law that's black, or something's going on. There's some
mm, mm,
swirling up in the situation that she wasn't aware of. But
mm,
seemed to me that she would be, because when they pick these jurors, they kind of delve into them a little bit, especially when it comes to these high profile cases, and they want to kind of know that they're picking, the right people for,
yeah.
for what they're trying to do.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because especially with the young man, I mean, he went and he met up with Mr. Trump, and Mr. Trump was saying, "Oh, he was what judged wrongfully," and he something I can't remember. There's another YouTuber who's put up about is whatever his name is, Kyle or whatever the flip. I don't know. Can't remember what the stripper child's name. But
Hmm.
anyway, right. But he met up with Trump as well, and Trump was basically saying, "Oh, after all he's been through and all this, but but that's why I chose not to watch Aubrey's one. I mean, I didn't watch Kyle's one neither, but
Hmm.
I just chose not to do it because every single time it comes down to that, normally they get off or for something
Yeah.
or the other, and there's another protest, a march again. Nothing comes out of it. The I mean, it's the same with
It's
Jalal.
just a mess. All that protesting just needs to stop because, like, it's ridiculous. And oh, it's the son. I didn't thank you, Miss Wise. I didn't know.
Yeah,
So the son got hit with. Okay, the
yeah,
son got
yeah,
hit with all the charges.
yeah, yeah. Maybe they thought the old man was too old or something, or whatever the reason is. Because sometimes they be greasing palms with money and all sorts. Because you know how they're corrupted as well. They're just as corrupted as every other country, you know.
And
So
and like with the Rittenhouse thing. Okay, so I hear a lot of like people saying, "Oh, it's not our fight, right?" Which I can understand.
mm,
But what I want to say, and I've been trying to say, or to various people, is you got to look at it this way too, as well.
mm,
That was a dog whistle too, right? Because
mm,
the
mm,
thing was, is basically he went over there, 17. He's not supposed to be in possession legally of an
mm,
AR-15. He went to
mm,
another state with an AR-15 to a protest that was about the assault, right,
mhm,
of a
mhm,
black man. So there
mhm,
were people out there, black and white and whatever colors, out
mm,
there,
mm,
protesting the injustice done to this black man. And so I feel like that whole thing with the judge and stuff, it went down that way because they were trying to send out another dog whistle to say is that if you're gonna, be supporting these niggas, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna
mm,
die, and we're gonna let them go free. And I
exactly.
haven't seen, yeah, and I haven't seen anybody talk about it from that perspective. And that's just my perspective, but
Mm,
I feel like it's one that's reasonable to kind of like ponder, you know.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's the point because remember one time when there was killing a lot of black men at one point, it was coming like hunting season. I think it was last year. Was it last year? I think it was. There was like constant black men getting killed, like
Mhm.
every single couple days, I think, or like so, so yeah, it's actually giving them the rights to do whatever over there as well, and not only that, right? The far right groups are rising up during this time now, so
Mhm.
yeah, it will be a massive dog whistle because, like, on top of dealing with the Karens and the extras over there, I mean, we have Karens over here too, but yeah, I think it would have just given them a nod to say, yeah, you can commit murder and get away with it, basically, because
Yeah,
you're
as
privileged
long as you're
and entitled.
killing, yeah,
Yeah,
like long as you're killing black sympathizers, right?
yeah,
And black
yeah,
people. And
yeah,
so that's what that was. That was a dog whistle. What is
yeah.
this dog barking at? Crazy. That was a dog whistle for that.
Mm,
So, I really would like to see somebody, like do a panel or talk on that a little bit. But all this stuff is crazy.
mm.
Like, it's
There is people talking about it because Aboriginal power. I don't know if you heard of Aboriginal power, and I can't remember the other one. There's a couple Aboriginal um, channels. They cover this. They do a wake and bake, and they talk about certain stuff. And um, I would do it, but I don't always follow certain things. You know what I mean? I'll be looking at other things. I'll be looking more further the other side. You know, and um, and I think like because we know what's going on anyway, right? It's in front of your face already. Sometime I feel like when you cover it, when we talk about it, um, sometimes we just end up going round and round in circles because we know what's going on. So I don't know, I can't put into words, right? I don't want to sound like a clever dick, but I'm just saying that it's just, yeah. But Aboriginal power and them lot cover subjects like this. They talk about it, and they're very, and they because they're men. Well, it's a lot of men that come on the panel, but and I think a few women, but they talk about it openly as well, which is good. So there is channels like that out there.
So did they talk about it from that perspective? Because I've heard it from like, oh, this is not our fight. They killed their own. But my thing is, if they're sending out a dog whistle like that,
Mm.
basically people's antennas should be up, a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Well, well. They just need right. They just need a nod. Yeah, like you said, like once they get that wolf whistle or whatever, yeah, they will go out and they will maim and they will kill because um I can name a few also that's died from the Americas. Nothing's come out of it. The boy that got wrapped up in the was it the gym mat? The the young boy that got taken and then they found him in a bayou in Louisiana. What's his name?
Yeah.
Thingy Charles. There's been so many, but then nothing's come out of it. I haven't heard nothing about Thingy Charles. Forgot his name. He has his mum haven't gotten nothing at all. Maybe if like maybe if she got that kind of type of justice, something will come out of it. Because that woman, it took them ages to even get that woman.
Well, I have a family member. Well, is a close friend of the family. So, like you families that grow up together, we just call each other cousins or stuff like that, right? So I
Mm,
have a family member,
mm,
and the exact same thing that just happened to the boy right now. What is his name? Where the mother's trying to get justice.
mm,
It's the same thing that happened with my cousin, is but a girl, right?
mm, mm,
And she was found in a canal. So this is the thing, the way the canal is that it's there was a time, like, you have to know the history of the area that I'm
mm,
talking about, right?
mm,
But I'm not going to say a lot, but I'm going to say a little because she's not ready to really, she's scared of some retaliation right now, and so
mm,
and things have happened, right?
mm,
And so I'm just going to keep it kind of light,
mm,
and but anyways, the way they were at one point in time, they weren't gated off or anything like that, right?
mm,
That's going way back in time.
mm,
Now, coming up in the last maybe 10 plus years, they start gating them off, right? So
mm,
my thing is, how does she get in that canal when it's fenced off, right?
mm,
So you want to tell me that this black girl is going to climb up a gate to jump in a nasty canal full of crawdads and bottom feeders and things to that nature, and
mm.
to get rid of herself? But
No.
you want to say that it's not a Sioux,
Mm,
and it's not a Mur.
mm,
Well, then what the hell is it? And the only people who have access to those canals when they're locked off like that
mm,
is city workers
mm.
or the police and things to that nature, right?
Yeah.
Then when it happens, you have nerves to say to her, "Oh well, are you going back to work?" She just found out. Now this happened some time ago. Like, it's been like maybe 2 years now, but when it first happened, I'm talking about.
Mm,
Why would you tell somebody that when they just found out something egregious about their child, who they had been trying to figure out where they were for a couple of weeks? And then
mm,
you have that person, you don't let her know, you have the person for a week before you even say anything. Like, it's just, I'm trying to tell you, it's a lot of these people that work in these high places. They're doing it to our people.
mm.
Yeah, so I hope you could read between the lines of
Yeah,
everything.
I can. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Miss
Is that
Wise.
hi, Miss Wise? Put it put Oh, you got it on microphone. You got it on your phone microphone or whatever. device? Am I tripping? Because I can't hear her.
Yeah, I can't hear it either. I
I
heard
think
her.
she needs to switch her microphone to whatever device she's on.
Unmute. I don't know.
Uh,
Okay. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you ladies doing?
I'm okay.
Saida.
We're doing good. We're doing good. I'm doing good. I just been running around. I'm over at my mother's house right now, and I've been helping her. And this house is full of people right now, and every 5 seconds they saying something to me. I'm like, I'm on a panel. I'm like, what? What is that? Like, what are you talking about? Get that cornbread out the oven. Oh, yeah. But like it's because it's gonna be a lot of people and stuff, and so we got it all designated to one household, so everybody's over here, putting in work.
Mm.
But it smells. Yeah, it smells good though. But were you Miss Wise, were you able to hear what I was talking about when I was talking about my baby cousin that in the canal?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And it kind of sounds like that young lady who was found in the police van in the police vicinity that they were looking for. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Not sure where it was. But there was a young lady who was missing, and they actually found her in a police van and on the premises of the police station. So yeah, when you say higher ups having something, yeah, definitely. I mean, because how does that happen?
Yeah, there is, and then not too long ago they just busted a ring of higher officials and stuff, and they were trafficking kids and things. And then I don't know if you know about this, but some couple of years back there was a father-son duo. They were both doctors, and they were harvesting organs of these Black people that were transient or whatever, or even prostitutes. Like they were snatching Black people off the streets and harvesting their organs, and it was a father-son team.
Wow.
So like this, so they specifically target us. We're the good,
but you have to ask yourself why. I mean,
we're the good crop.
Why
we're the good crop.
Right.
Because we're the good crop,
Yeah.
Because
but to let them tell it we're nothing. Let them say we're beneath. But that melanin is worth more than any gem on this earth, and that's what it is.
And that's the truth. That is the truth. And they know that we have very strong genes and the DNA and stuff, and that's why they they want to kill our babies. Now I'm not again, I don't want to say I'm pro-life, right, or anything like that. What I want to say is this: there's probably certain times and reasons why maybe a baby should not come to term, but when you create a whole industry and you're really targeting mostly Black people or people that have some kind of higher concentration of melanin in their system, that speaks volumes. And then on top of that, we know that they're sucking the babies out, right? And they're taking them and using them for like their little research, or taking whatever out of them and adding them to other people and stuff like that to regenerate them. You know what I mean? They're doing it. They're taking it from the fetal, and I know I'm talking like codish, like, because I don't really know, because sometimes YouTube be on some BS when we talk about certain things.
Yes. And recently they got new thingies
guidelines.
Yeah.
So I'm not certain what the new guidelines are, but I'm trying to kind of like not stay a lot, but say a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know at my job, different hospitals handle placentas different. When I got to the hospital I'm at, they were just taking the placentas that weren't sent to pathology and putting them in a freezer by a loading dock. And so that perturbed me quite a bit because, with the placentas, the cord, and you get a lot of, you have your baby's DNA, you have, all kind of
Yes, and
things
it's very
attached to
high.
that.
It's high in nutrients too.
Right. So I kept asking who is picking this up and why, like every other facility, we either throwing them out or asking the parents if they don't want to take them if it's not sent to pass. But I made such a fuss about it that I got it changed, and I'm so happy. So I'm like, that's my one thing this year, 2021. I think I did good because it just perturbed me.
When you
I
do the
just,
right thing, when you stand up for what's right, you always have to know that you'll take a great loss, but in the end, you'll have a great win. Like they did what they did, but you're blessed somewhere down the line. Because let me tell you, like my mother told me, it's that man has a plan and God has a plan, but God's plan prevails.
amen.
So whatever they do, let them do it.
Yeah, and it got a little feedback. Like they didn't really want us to change it, but we had got a new director, and she pushed with me because we're like, who's picking it up, and why? Where are they taking it then? And so, now it's okay, and everybody's just disposing of them double bagged to the point where if you tried to use it, it wouldn't be viable.
But they're not trying to like take away your job or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay, that's good. That's good because sometimes
And it's probably because my director was saying the same thing, like,
yeah.
And where we had to take them, it was in this eerie place, and it's by the dock where the trucks come. And so working overnight, and you have to take a placenta down there. I was just, something's not right here. And then nobody knew where it was going, who was picking them up. I was like, no, this needs to be changed because on my watch, don't want nobody's babies stuff with these nasty, these people are just disgusting. And the things they do, I was just like, this is no.
And so I just found this out recently, and just tell me if I'm correct about this. You can let them know that you want that placenta, right? As a mother.
Oh, yeah. You can take it home.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that because when I
even and tell your family, it just take it home and throw it away. If the hospital doesn't dispose of it the proper way, then they can take it home and throw it away, just so they know that people are not using their baby's placenta for other things. They used to take them and use them for cosmetics and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. And hair, yeah.
And so, but now you have these nasty people who, they're just basically eating them to get their adrenaline. And
yes.
So I'm like, no. So I did accomplish that. So I was very happy.
Oh, that was a great accomplishment.
So yes, tell them they have every right. They'll have to sign for it, but they can take it home and just
because I didn't
throw it away, plant it by a tree because it does make the trees and plants grow.
Okay, look at the power of the placenta. Growing trees and creating life.
Yeah. And a lot of people do that. They'll buy a new tree when their baby's born, and then they bury the placenta near the tree, and it helps the tree grow.
It would be nice if Sister Devanya was here because she could attest to this. You guys know Devanya? Devanya, right?
I don't know her. No.
Sometimes she's over at trees. Well, she's at the argument league. Well, anyways, we were talking about this one time and talking about how, like, in the Bible, and I'm not going there with the Bible, but I'm just saying because this is the topic of saying that waters, waters, and waters, and I was mentioning how in the Bible people literally be thinking that it's water and it's trees, but waters and trees signify people. So going back to what you were saying about the placenta and growing trees, like it's it speaks to life, you know, and it just kind of dawned on me like a correlation right there for a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what does the placenta? What are the you know, like the materials? Is it calcium or something that the placenta?
Everything
Oh,
that
okay.
the placenta nourishes your baby. So but it is the outer half attaches to your uterus, and the sac covers the baby, and that's where the fluid of the baby is. But everything you eat and your body turns to nourishment for the baby is in that cord and placenta, plus your baby's DNA is in that cord. So yeah, it's very extremely nourishing.
And I would
So
think
yeah.
your DNA is in there as well, because it is you and your baby
Right.
connected.
Right. So you have all of that, and you don't want that floating around.
See,
Like,
that's what I'm
no,
talking
we have to
about.
do.
I've
So
been
we gotta do
saying that.
something about this.
I've been saying that Ponce de Leon was looking for the fountain of youth. He thought it was a body of water, but the body of water he was speaking of was the highly melanated people, the black man and woman, as we know, black man and woman. In us is all the life. And so it makes sense for them to try to snatch up the placenta, snatch up the fetuses and stuff, because they are trying to survive. It's like Dracula on steroids, okay?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They were, going down a slightly darker path. You know what they do, the adrenochrome thing, and when we were in quarantine, they were losing it because they couldn't, snatch your kids up and snatch young women up and young boys. I mean, now the boys are more than the girls, as far as them trying to traffic them, but. They couldn't, and you never heard that Amber Alert go off. And as soon as they lifted it here in Texas, I mean, that thing was pinging 3 or 4 times a day. And I said, look at this. Look at this. When the kids started going back to school, Amber Alert after Amber Alert. And I'm like, it's crazy how sleep or how people don't use common sense. Even if you don't believe in any of that, you don't think these people are doing anything, you have to think there's a reason why they want these kids, why they want these young women. There is a reason. Otherwise, why do it?
There, as Octavius Prime, when he did his panel, I don't know if you guys, his live about succubus and incubus and things to that nature, and I'm like, they're like, scavengers feeding on people. You know what I mean?
Vampires,
yeah.
And people better realize, it's those higher ups that are into some pretty nasty, dark things.
Oh yeah,
and even if you don't believe it, they believe in it. Even if you don't believe it, they do. That's why they do it.
Yeah, they're practicing rituals and stuff, and
constantly practicing rituals.
We see the Travis Scott thing. That was a total in your face. If you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in nothing, you had to see something was going on.
Yes.
And then they were saying, like, his whole concert, the way it was built was like an upside down cross on ley lines. I'm like, on ley lines? Like, what?
Yes.
And apparently those Kardashians and Jenners have dropped him like a bad habit.
They have.
So they used him on up. They succubused him all the way down to the white meat, and then just threw out the bones. And
but look how much time they've done that with all the men in their lives. They've done that with Lamar, others.
Kanye.
Right.
Kanye. Kanye is literally crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy.
And he's the only one. Him and Lamar right now. Lamar seems like he's broke out of it, and he don't
Kanye
really deal.
college dropout Kanye no more.
No, but he's
No.
getting back. He's getting like it's slipping through. You know
You
how
think?
somebody with dementia, one day they're in their right mind, and then the next day they trip out. It's coming back. Like you can, the real him is slipping through sometimes, and you're like, well, dang.
So you
Yeah.
think maybe maybe his mother,
The spirit.
his mother's spirit and strength gave him enough to not be succubus to the white meat.
Yeah.
I think
Like
so, because if you look at the timeline, so when he started going to gospel music, I was like, okay, listen, he better not be playing, right? And then he started talking to like all these evangelists and preachers and stuff. And I was like, Kanye, you better not be blasphemous. You better not be playing, right? So then he gets on IG one day and he goes on this rant. And this was before they were getting a divorce or anything. And he starts going off about Kris Jenner. And he's telling Kim, my kids are not going to be on that show no more. And that happened. And then he's like, your mom. And then he's like, your mama's not going to sell my kids like she sold you and your sisters. I mean, he was going off. And he basically said Kris Jenner was the devil and all this. You know how Kanye can go all the way. And so, everybody's like, oh, hell, he's ranting. But then on that show, he was on that show, the Kardashian show, and they went back to Chicago, and he bought the house that he grew up in with him and his mom. And he got back with his friend, the one that basically did a lot of producing on that first album. And they actually grew up together, like, as little boys or whatever. And so the friend and Kim kind of had it out. He's like, you kind of put a wedge between our friendship before, but it's not going to happen again. You relationship is y'all relationship, and ours is ours. He said this on national TV. And then all of a sudden, Kanye's like, I'm moving back to Chicago. And he buys his mother's house back from whoever had it. He bought it. So that's when you started seeing, if you remember, you started seeing little articles talking about Kim wants a divorce. She's fed up. Oh, because he started running for president. Yeah. Okay. But he was pushing. I think when he got back to Chicago and he got around the real people, his dad, his friends that he grew up with, and he bought that house, I do believe his mother's spirit came through. And his guardian angels and started pulling him out. I do. Because any man with all that damn money to finish that album, which is named after his mother, this latest album, he moved into a stadium in a closet.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
So you have to think,
what is said.
What is wrong? But if you're trying to run from witches and shit and they're attacking you constantly, but if they don't have any connection to that ground where that stadium was, so he could finish that album about his mama. See, I'm thinking that way.
Oh yeah, because he was on holy ground.
I mean, he was just on a ground that they have no attachment to.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by holy ground.
Right.
Ground
how witches are. They'll send cats to conspire. Right.
Or they haven't had access to taint.
Right. Because even if he went to his home in Wyoming or whatever, Kim has been there. They've been there.
They would have got him.
But so I'm thinking he had to do that to not be attacked. Because they tried to put him in the thing, remember, after he said that stuff on IG, they tried to put him back.
They were going to try to put him in the loony bin.
Right. And when I seen him come out, I seen one of them friends from Chicago with him. I said, yep, he got away. He got free. He's done. And then that's when all the stuff started coming out. But notice,
but didn't they just
reason,
recently say that he's trying to get back with her? I'm like, no.
No, she's supposed to be, all this fairy tale stuff out there. She's supposed to be with this comedian that's on Saturday Night Live, this young boy. He's way younger than her. But then Kanye's been seen with the young lady Black, too. So I see you, bro. Like I ain't no
Mm.
more with this. She kind of his first girlfriend, not Amber Rose, but that first one when he first came out. So it
Well,
seems like he's
what do they
doing the
say?
things his mother.
The cries of the
Hmm.
passionate or the screams of fools to closed minds.
Hmm.
Right. And you
You know what
think
I
he's
mean?
crazy, but he just don't be articulating stuff right. Yeah. But
That's what I'm
I'm
saying. The
like,
cries of the
when he
passionate.
said that,
Yeah.
and then that he started like he tried to flush his Grammys down the toilet.
Oh,
Um,
really?
he was really talking bad about the music industry. He was telling it. He was telling what was going on his IG.
I
And
missed a
that's when
lot.
they tried to put him in the thing again, but he wouldn't. One of those guys that he grew up with was with him. I think he stayed somewhere for 24 hours. And then
I missed
after that,
it.
he,
What?
Mm-mm.
I heard about that part when he was in there, and then he covered his face in this black thing over his face, and all
right.
sorts of weirdness, and I was like, what the hell's going on with this guy, man? And then after that, I didn't hear nothing again after that. So you said a lot because I didn't know about all that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
said, Kanye is very smart. And I think, I just think, when you get in that lifestyle, Hollywood, and I've been around, growing up in California, I've been to some industry things and been close to some industry people. And you can see some crazy stuff. And you get
Mm-hmm.
that far up, the higher you go, the more shit you see. And yeah.
Like little Nas now, because little Nas is like the little gimmick, and he's like,
Oh,
Didn't he just
that's
recently
there.
say he's not gay no more?
He did. He said he's bisexual.
he's
But he said he's
confused.
always been
That's
bisexual.
still gay. I don't understand.
So he said he's always been bisexual, but the people were writing him so much about being gay that to piss everybody off and to make a point. That's why he's been going so hard with the kissing men and all that stuff on TV.
So he's
So now he's
more.
bisexual.
So he's saying that he's really attracted more to women opposed to men. Is that the point he's trying to make?
No, just like both. Like whoever he falls in love with. I don't think he
Yeah. So
didn't say
that's
like
called.
one
Isn't
more
that
than another.
called pansexual, right? Like where
No, he said bi. Like I guess
I'm
he.
saying, but it can't be by. What I'm saying is that if he is attracted to whoever makes him feel good, is a vibe, right? There's a
That's a
certain.
whole nother thing.
Yeah, they have a certain title for it. I think it's
Good God,
pansexual.
I can't.
You can't.
Listen, they're doing too much.
You can't.
They're doing.
You
I'm sorry. Hey,
ABC. Easy as
I have,
1, 2, 3.
plenty in my family. I love them. Few good friends, but they going with this. Yes, I just say alphabet people. Like, who was that? Dave Chappelle. The alphabet people can't do it because y'all keep adding on, and then these new definitions, and then you got to call some people to not be offensive. They might not want to be called he or she. And I'm like, well, what the hell?
I think they want to be called they or them.
They, right. But how am I supposed, if I'm just meeting you and I might be like, hi, this is da 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 da, and she, and they get offended, but I didn't know.
Oh my God. I don't know.
It's a lot, but I mean, to each his own. I'm not the judge of nobody. We all have to meet our makers. That's how I put it. We all have to, as long as you're not hurting me and you're a good person. You're not
It's
hurting
not even
kids.
about at this point. It's not even about judging. Like, just follow me on this, okay? My thing is this: if you have fought or whatever you say you have to now live in a more open way, why do you have to put all these other things into the mix that are neither here nor there, right? Like if I look at you and I see that you're a man, I'm gonna say, he said da 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 da.
Yeah.
Why should that be of a particular issue isn't the more important thing is the fact that you're able to be outside openly in your freedom or whatever, or in whatever you choose, how you choose to live. And I don't understand why
Right.
there has to be such this pressure to emphasize so many points, because I'm heterosexual, but you don't see me every day going about, I'm heterosexual and you better respect it. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right,
And I'm
because then
not,
that would be we would be discriminating.
yeah. And then, so I don't like some of that stuff is not really necessary, is what I want to say. Like, some of
Yeah.
it is not necessary.
The first
But
letters I think are fine. LGBT. I even understand the Q. I understand queer. I even got that. But now the pan you talking about, there's a pan. I'm like Peter Pan? But what the heck? And then like what?
it's,
And it's
is
so
it,
many different definitions. And I'm like, what?
well, I know,
Like,
I've known a lot of people that are homosexual, right, or not heterosexual, to say that, and even I see them online, and then they make fun of it. Like, a lot of them feel like this stuff is went overboard. And so when you say, I'll say like the elemental P's, they find that hilarious, because I don't even
right. I,
say LGBT, I say the elemental P's, and everybody knows
right.
what I'm talking about. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
just say alphabet people because there's the alphabet folks. Because I mean, I don't want to be offensive, and I say I'm not trying to be offensive, but every day it's a new thing. And I think what you were saying was right about like they got the freedom, the acceptance, but now it's died down. So now to me, it's like to keep going. Like how defensive they are with every little thing. Like they want to cancel everybody who says their opinions and feelings. But to me, I think it's because it's died down. You won the fight, but they want maybe the attention still. I don't know.
Well, the black LGBTQ has not won the fight, and I'm going to be very
Right.
honest.
And that's another thing. And that's
They have
yes,
they
yes,
haven't won any kind of fight. What they've been
yes.
used, like all black people
Absolutely.
are used by
They
what is
steal our whole
what
identities.
yeah, the predominant, right, and I won't even call, I want to say the predominant class, because not the predominant people, but the predominant class, like the people that have been placed in this class, right, because we're living in a classism state, right, and
Right.
and and most of the predominants are white people, right, and so, and that is what is predominantly over, well, really is actually Jewish white people that are predominantly over there. But
Right.
let's stay away from that for a minute, because that's going to bring everybody out in the world, right? Because now it's going to be, oh, da da da, but we all know what it really is. And you, black person who lives a certain lifestyle, have been used to give them what they want, and you in that situation are still on the bottom rung of things, because when you talk to anybody who lives in that lifestyle, they'll let you know that they're not as desired, right? I think the most
Right.
desired ones, I think, are like the Asian, and then the
Oh,
white, and they're like, there's like a culture up in that culture. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Well,
So
I noticed how, like, my uncle was telling me, back when they were started this, well, like the fight, like in the 80s,
mm-hmm.
and he was telling me, really, they didn't want the lesbians in there. And the only
No, they
reason why
didn't.
they were in there was because they brought more people to the fight and
Exactly.
represented certain places in legislation. So now it's the trans women. They don't really want to claim trans women or men.
All that is true. And so what they need to understand, whether they're trans or whatever they are in the list of the alphabets, if you're black, that's first. And
Right.
you shouldn't be doing anything other than fighting for that first, because they're going to see that first, and they're not going to know about nothing else unless you happen to be dressed a certain way or you are flamboyant in some type of way, but they ain't going to care about that. That's just going to be added insult to injury for as far as they're concerned. But the first thing they see is yo black butt. You know, your black arse. ARSE. Google, YouTube. ARSE. Arse. Okay, no bad word. Guidelines.
I know. So much to remember. We can't talk freely. It's mad, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's true. Anything where black people is part of, the first thing is seen as their skin color. It doesn't matter how many ways it's divided. Remember, we was having that discussion about the division thing, right? Where everybody have this thing. I'm indigenous, I'm African, I'm this one. And that. They just see black. That's it. As far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is so true.
So
And
it's
and
always.
we
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
So it's always a divide and rule, no matter what. That's why um, peoples need to come together. I mean, people always talk about this we and this us, but in theory, there is a we and a us. But in practical, no, there is not a we and a us. There's a me
Right.
and an I, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. But they designed the whole structure to make us divide anyway.
Yeah, it's and it's systematic because why like it's like we always got to be at the bottom of the pile. Like I said this morning, when it came to them children and the gang wars business they call it postcode wars over here. No, I think it's still postcode wars over here. They the children is in an environment, so therefore they'll be brought into certain environments. Like you said, even with the alphabet people, they have those problems going on because I had to learn more about them a bit more because I kept seeing them everywhere I went and I have an opinion and I had to be kind of open-minded. So I had to go and find out a little more about them. But sometimes I couldn't always tell when they was that way. And
Right.
my gaydar is low. So I
Yeah.
would
You
even
don't want to
go,
be offensive, so you're just like, okay, I'm not going there.
yeah, exactly. So but yeah, I think with everything is environment with most cases because people say okay, it's the single mothers why boys are feminized or whatever. Yeah, some cases I wouldn't say
Some
all,
cases, yeah. Some cases,
but
but not all.
yeah, but everybody normally takes it all across the board. But normally it always come down to sometime when they're being touched and they're confused of who they are, and you know
And I
it's
can
a lot.
attest to that because that's what my uncle said happened to him. You know, I do think some people may be born that way, but I do think some people are touched at a young age and they turn, they lean more towards that way. They become
Right.
more comfortable maybe
Yeah.
with the.
It's both.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both. But when
Yeah.
I want to speak to like the division of Black people across the world globally, right? I want to say globally.
Yeah.
We all know that in Africa, there's always been factionalism, right? Like factions.
Yeah, tribalism. Yeah.
Tribalism, factions. You know, we all know like all the words, right? Division amongst or groups, right? And so the only people who ever looked at us as one, like just one group or a monolith or whatever, was the European. We always have been able to see ourselves as Guyanian or Nigerian or whatever, right? All Kenyan or whatever, right? All the words, right? We all know like the places, right? And so there is different cultural norms in all those countries within that continent, right?
Mhm.
And then even within those countries, there's like subdivisions of cultural norms, right?
Mhm.
People are different. Like we always have known that about ourselves, right? That even though we look the same, that we are different, right? In some in
Right.
things that we do.
Unique. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
unique. You're unique. And so that's the
No.
problem. The
I
problem
was,
was is that,
hold on, Saida. I was just saying hi, Nikwa, Nikwa,
oh,
Nikwa
hi,
B.
Nikwa B TV.
Hi, Nico.
I love me some Nikwa B. She's always so sweet. And I have never seen nobody who holds so many moderator sticks. Like Nikwa has a stick everywhere, like in every sector, I think. She probably has a stick in the beauty sector.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. She's a very pretty girl.
Yeah. I mean that's what I was gonna say, because she is really pretty. Like she really is.
Yeah. So
But just back to what I was saying is
yeah.
to say this is that we all also know that a lot of the people in Africa like sold us off, right? So a lot of us over here in America are we're prisoners of war. We were
Yeah.
cast-offs. We
Yeah.
we were sold for a bobbly thing and we weren't wanted anyways. Case in point was like Akata, right?
Yeah.
And so we all know this stuff, but the point is to say is that there was a time for that. And that time doesn't exist anymore. If all the Black people globally can see that us being fractured, tribal, factional, whatever, this is not the time for that anymore. Because a cancer has spread, if you haven't taken notice,
Mm-hmm.
and it's killing you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I always say, and I say this to my brother a lot, I tell him, because I tell him, you are the currency. Don't let anybody ever tell you that this fiat money, this monopoly stuff, and these gems of stuff is the way. You are the currency. Let your name be so strong, even that even your enemy will attest that, you are a good man. Right? Let your name be so strong and let your character be so strong that when you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw out, all doors and windows will be open for you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on in. It's good to see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're the currency. And when you look out into this world, I tell them, I love myself so much that when I look out into this world, I seek myself. And I want him to feel the weight of those words. You know what I mean? For him to really feel it as a Black man, as a man, and as a person of, not a person of color, because I hate that term, but a highly melanated man in this universe. That he should love himself so much that when he looks out into
Yes.
this world, that he seeks himself. Because
Yes.
that's the definition of self-love, true love, right? And if we love ourselves, then we all should be doing that. And we were all on that same mind frame. Like right now, we were all just was in that same frequency. We would not be tribal. We would not be divided, because we will love ourselves so much that we will seek ourselves, and then we will recognize what is trying to kill us.
Right.
And
And that's
fight against
exactly
it.
what they don't want. And they create diversions like no other constantly. But the people, we just can't get it together to not follow,
Well, hopefully
They
somebody
pit us
will
against
hear
each
this.
other constantly. Somebody, I think it might have been on, it was somebody's video and I left a comment. It was just like, if, I don't know, it's like you have to leave angry people behind. We're not getting anywhere because they keep tearing us back down. If you keep waiting for him.
Never must be mistaken. I mentioned this to Yemi the other day as to say that Malcolm X. I don't know why I was thinking about Martin Luther King, but no, not him. Malcolm X said there is no revolution without bloodshed. Like there has to be bloodshed. And
Right.
there is no revolution without having to, unfortunately, get rid of your own. You're going to have to fight through some
Right.
people that look like you and then them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's just how it goes.
That's what I mean. Yes, exactly. Yes, we gotta keep moving.
Yeah, we have to. We have to keep strong as as well. I keep saying as a people, but I've got to find other words. I really have to, because sometimes, right, when you mention as a people, right, our people is very fractioned. We have a lot of traumas, which I have spoken about in the past. There's a lot of things going on. We have PTSD continuously.
Mhm.
Some is more apparent and some is not, but because like we have that kind of injury, right, because we are very judgmental to each other,
Right.
but we per se would not go and like, some will stretch out their hand and help that person to make them a better person or whatever in some cases, but most cases people like it when you're eating dirt. They like to see that. They like to have that power, assert that power. So when people is on their faces per se, they get off on that. So um yeah, I gotta find another word for we as a people because
Well, that was the biggest con. So going back to what I was saying earlier, the thing is that the European, as how we call it, the European, noticed that about us, that we were separate. Like we didn't identify ourselves under one blanket word, right? And
mm,
one was willing to do where the other one probably wasn't willing to do. But they could go between and use our infighting as well as a source, and they've been sticking with that plan ever since.
Yeah.
They
mm,
haven't
Oh,
they
yeah.
haven't changed from that.
Nope. Oh, they'll even go in and create something to make you think to keep it going. You know.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
They put that blueprint down a long time ago, and it was based on watching us. If
yeah,
you really think about it, the way they move, everything they did was based on watching how we moved with each other,
yeah,
and then just amplified it. You know what I mean? Amped it
Right.
up.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
the crazy thing about it to me is, if we did all just say, okay, we're all gonna just go in one place, let us be, they wouldn't, because we've tried it before here in America, and they wouldn't let us be. They got jealous
Yeah,
and tore it down.
Yeah.
yeah, they
And
could, they
and then
could.
they have no ideas who you're gonna steal life hacks from. You know, oh my gosh, we don't have anything to, you know, we have what are we gonna steal? We can't steal from them. They're not here anymore.
I was
Mm,
thinking about that the other day. Like I was thinking about what kind of food. Like I was like blood sausages, a lot of what hot dogs. I was just thinking
Shepherd's pie. I think they eat stuff like that.
shepherd's pie. Like, but when you think about the food, I'm like, damn. Were you guys like? It was hard out there for you, huh? Had to
mm,
be. Why are you eating all
Mm.
this blood and stuff? And why are you consuming like? It's just weird. I don't know. Does anybody ever think like that? Because is that just me?
Yeah, no, I do. I'm
yeah,
like, what would you?
yeah.
How would you? What music would you have? Like,
Mm,
what dances would you do? How would you wear
mm.
your hair?
No rhythm.
Um, how would you walk? How would you get swag if we were gone?
Mm.
I just don't know
Basically,
what.
what flavor would you have in your life because you suck it from us?
Yeah.
Well, they were doing their
That's just
Viking.
my opinion.
They were doing their Viking Nordic thing, and Yeah, it was kind of savage.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, yeah, that's
there's a
what
lot of
they did.
savagery going on. So
Their
I don't know.
contribution is taking, hurting, women, hell, men too, probably.
Oh
To
yeah,
steal, kill, and rob, basically, is I believe their contribution
and I feel like when a
to
person
the
like
world.
shows you who they are, believe them. Like when you show me who you
Oh yeah,
are, I believe you. You know what I mean? You're gonna show me one time, I believe you. You'll never have to show me again. But I had to get, that came with getting older and wisdom, because when I was younger, I was way forgiving. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
but now that I'm older, I realize like, no, like no. And then you also teach people how to treat you as well. Like that's important too. And so for us as a group right, a collective, we can only we have to teach them how to treat us. And so far we're teaching them to just run over us like with a steam shovel, and because all we're gonna do is lay down.
Yeah.
yeah. I do have a little hope though, like the younger generation, as far as like the teenagers now, that are in high school, coming out of high school. They seem to be, all of them, and I including all races, seem to be very inclusive, and they speak up, they speak their mind. They'll even tell their parents that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little hope. When the kids are trying to teach their parents that's prejudice and that's not right,
Well,
and they're
what
more
do you
vocal
want?
and
I was gonna say, what do you want? Like, or what do you think as far as us being integrated opposed to being segregated?
and in my opinion on that, I don't think y'all. I think too traditional. Like now we are integrated, and that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe all Caucasian people are bad, because there are some that have woke up and they don't want to contribute to their ancestors' way of thinking and way of living.
That's factual. What you're saying is factual. Those are facts. Yes.
If we have to be integrated, I just want people, I guess, to I don't know, because let me see, how could I say this? Just do you. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. But be respectful. If we have to live amongst each other, be respectful.
I feel like that you're right. Like this integration thing has become so interwoven. It's like one of those baskets that are with the deep waves in it, the deep weaving, right? And it's so deep that you can't really take it apart,
Right. It's here in the world. The whole world is integrated. So,
but I think we should be allowed to have our Chinatowns, if you will. We can name it whatever we want to name it,
because everybody has their cultural hubs. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, we're not really allowed to have that, and when we try to do it, they don't want us to buy the buildings. They're redlining us, and they're doing all kinds of little things where we can't get the good bids. My brother was just talking about the other day that when he was down there, because he does trucking and stuff, and so when he was down there, he went over there to the county building or whatever, and I guess one of the ladies in the office was like, you should get this bid. He was like, you don't want no black people up in here. You know that I'm qualified for all the things.
Oh, what's happened? Is she out? Is it me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Oh, she's dropped it. She's dropped out.
Yeah, Niqua, I do believe separation. I actually think in America, ending segregation or us integrating was probably the worst thing that that we could have done, because we had our own everything, our own systems, our own schools, our own doctors, universities, and they didn't like that. Of course, they get jealous and they have to go and destroy those things. But I do agree with you on the separation. But now, I mean, we're integrated, so that would be hard to reverse, I think. But yeah, I think if we would have remained separated, we would have been better off now. Hey, Tripsy.
Hi, Trip.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Oh, what I want to say was that, so my brother, he gets contracts and stuff, and so he went down there, and they were talking to him about a contract, right? And he was saying, you guys don't want to give these contracts to a black man because, he knows the people up in there. And he was telling me about how in the building it's only like a couple of black people now, and they were grandfathered in, right? And so the thing is that he knows people there, but they don't want to give him a contract. And so then a Mexican guy took over, and he's been giving those contracts to his buddies, like allowing them to get those contracts and kind of like pushing my brother out. So I really don't know how that thing goes. So I'm probably not using the correct words, but I understand what he's talking about when he's speaking it to me, like what's happening to him, right? So right now he's in the midst of trying to start his own company, and of course, sister will be there to help, and where he can like transport cars from state to state or whatever and move it in a different direction. But he's been fighting against those people for a long time, and he's out there in Kansas.
Oh wow, yeah.
And
They'll definitely do that, but then they don't want us to. They don't want us to go back to being separated, because, like I said, then how would you get? You want to treat us like nothing, but if you think about it, most of the things that makes life convenient, we have invented those things.
They don't want us to get
and
the good money
continue
either,
to do
though.
them. Oh no! Well, they have to keep you down. And one thing I was telling my mom, when all of this, when Trump got elected and all the good old boys or whatever they call themselves, they are actually nervous because they're becoming the minority. When that U.S. Census came out a couple of months ago, and their numbers were quite dwindling, they know that. They know that. So when an animal feels like they're being cornered or becoming extinct, what do? They fight. That's why I think all of this out in the open crap is happening again, They know. So right now, the only way that they can really keep us down is economically, politically, because this system has been set up for them. And that's the way they're fighting, because they know they're becoming, the minority in the world. So, yeah, we got to go back to this fight again, just like the 50s and the 60s.
Oh, a bit tired. The topic's open. It's an open topic. We've spoken on a few things, to be honest. We've spoken on the guilty verdict. We spoke about the alphabet community. it's come through about the segregation thing now. So that's how it's going. It's just flowing basically.
We're just talking about a number of things.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Those folks, yeah, they're pretty nervous. They are pretty
Well,
nervous.
my thing is like, this is my only thing, okay? I want for us as a collective, right, to purchase lands
yeah.
and build our own systems, like, you know, get our own hospitals. Like, do you know the Asian community has, and I've said it, maybe you guys heard me say it before, that they have a health insurance on the exchange. So, you know, like when you have to go into the marketplace or whatever, they have their own health insurance on the marketplace. And we could have that, you know. We should be doing those type of things, and we should have our own hospitals and our own, well, there is black owned banks, but you know, you get what I'm saying? Like our own community where we're circulating the dollar within our community, because other communities are doing it. And the only
Right.
time whenever we talk about doing it, it becomes like, ooh, that's not right, you know. And it's that integration thing, because it's like there's a lot of black people who feel like we still need to be circulating our dollar in a system that is working against us. They cannot remove themselves from that. And
Right.
it's not like you can't, it's not like we will not never have to do business with. Like, we know that we'll have to do business with white people or Chinese people or whoever, but we still can have dollars circulating within our own system, like our own community.
We should have a
where we have,
viable option to be able
yeah,
to
like,
shop with our own or do business or have insurances and different systems.
and when we
From
have
us.
blocks, right? Blocks and blocks of, you know, this is black owned land, black communities, black houses, black businesses, black schools. I mean, I don't see how it cannot be done. It can be done. The Asians are doing it right before our faces every day. We see it. And
They've
what do
been
we
doing
say?
it. They've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And what do we
always,
say? Oh, I'm going to go to Chinatown because I want to have duck today. Or I'm going to go to Chinatown because they have this and that. How many times do we go to Chinatown as black people? But then there's this whole thing that all of a sudden we don't like them. Like, that really blew my mind too. That narrative was just crazy.
Well, I don't know about the not liking them. I know they didn't like us. And growing up in Inglewood, California, and them owning a lot of stores, and the way they treat us would be more the problem. So I think if we radiate it back, it's in defense of the way that they look at us.
I agree. You know, I was born in Santa Barbara and I lived all over there. Like, you know, you're familiar with Oxnard and Hueneme and all that area, right?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And so, see, Santa Barbara back in the day, it was so beautiful because there was a very strong black presence and it was a very strong black community. And we had businesses, right? And the community, like, we all knew each other. Like, it was beautiful. And so I know that can be, like, I know that what I'm talking about can be, because I saw it growing up. You know, I saw it.
Yeah.
And I do know what you're talking about with the Asian people, because they feel like they could talk to you in any kind of way, and then half the time when you're talking to them, they're ignoring you. They're like acting like they don't hear you talking. They just treat you with like a great disrespect, and we're over there like, oh, thank you and have a great day, and being very kind to them. Why they're just being super rude in our face 24/7. It's like, wow, what is
Mm,
wrong with you?
yeah. So
You know?
unfortunately, when those things are happening, though, I don't condone uh, hurting elderly people of any nationality or race, but I just didn't feel that bad because of how I've been treated in their establishment, you know?
Yeah. They'll tell you to get out.
Oh, or
They'll
follow you.
overcharge,
Yeah.
follow you. They'll do all kinds of stuff. Like, yeah, they'll lie in your face. Like they will lie to you straight up. Do you have this? No. Then all of a sudden they have it. Like, didn't you just tell me no?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
it's
did trip me
unfortunate.
out, and how fast they got their protection. Yet we still haven't got reparations. We haven't got anything.
Well,
That's a whole nother story, though. And I try to tell people in this political arena, you better start voting for people who will are close to you and your family values, and not just because they're Democrats. Because the Democrats are all of them really. They're all corrupt and for self. But if the people are not saying that with Joe Biden in office, I don't know what to say anymore.
well, they're about to give the Mexican immigrants, they're about to get a crap load of money for their children and all this kind of stuff. So they're
Right.
getting reparations right now too. And the black man can't get reparations for nothing.
Right.
We can't get reparations. Hey, you put my great great grandfather in bondage, and then you cut off my great 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 grandmother's breast, and then you put some black codes down and some Jim Crow laws against me,
Right.
and then you did some this homestead predates that stuff because I'm going out of order, but I'm just naming some of the stuff. You did the homestead thing, took our property way back then, gave it, then took it back. Then you turn around, did some redlining. Like, we don't deserve
Right.
reparations. What are you talking about?
Right. But if people were listening, both him and his vice president said, oh, no, they don't believe in that. And I don't like Trump. Nope, I don't like him. But we just need some new people to
No, I get where
run.
you're going with that, and I know why
You
you
know what
don't
I
want to
mean? I'm
say.
like, anybody who flat
I
out
get where you're
tells
going with
you,
it.
nope, I don't believe in that, but vote for me, get me in there. So, yeah.
I mean, I really get where you're going with that. I know you don't want to say it, but I hear you, and I know why you're saying it. And I tried to tell these people, I said, look, we are Californians. We know how Kamala did her thing on these black people out here.
Dude,
We
and
know
she
how
affected the
Biden
black
did
men
it.
the most. I mean, dude.
Man, we know how all our brothers and sisters got caught up on that Biden act, like him and Clinton. Like, we've seen the overseers put it down. Why do you want to vote for two of the
Absolutely.
greatest, biggest overseers that we've ever seen? I literally have to talk to people like that. Like, think about it. You're voting for overseers.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
just it was. It's like I get it. Everybody wanted him gone. I get it, but shit, we could
And
have
it
did
was
an
the older
independent. There was a
generation.
couple of independent people running. Shoot,
You might as well have
hell,
done
we
that
could
or
have
just
just
vote
voted
local.
Kanye crazy ass here.
Okay, yeah, vote Kanye. Vote local. Do the local. Vote for your local, whoever your mayor is gonna be, whoever your all the city council, all this. Vote local so that you can make changes around you. If you were gonna vote for
Right,
anything,
absolutely.
but why would you put these people have openly showed you in act and law that they're gonna lock you up, not only your man, but your women and your children at the same time.
Yeah.
The mama, the papa, and the baby at the same time.
Yeah.
It was
And
crazy.
not to mention the nasty things that they're involved with that people sweep under the rug.
Okay.
You
And
know?
then Kamala was sitting up there. Oh, with her sister girl act, that cracked me up. I'm like, I guarantee you
Yeah.
that her birth certificate says Caucasian. I
I don't think so.
guarantee it.
Because where was she born? Was she born in California too? Where was she born?
Um,
I don't know, but
I
her
think she
dad
was
being
wasn't she born in Canada or something like that?
her dad
I don't
being
know.
as dark as he is, and her mom really is not that light of an East Indian. But and her sister, you see how dark her sister is. So you know that one drop rule here. She was born in America.
No, I'm going by the mom because
Yeah, but she's
Hindus.
dark. She's a
I know, but
darker East
I'm not
Indian.
going by the color. I'm going by
Oh, you mean that they
the
might have put Asian down instead of black?
I don't think they put Asian down. I think they put down Caucasian, as in Caucasian. Caucasian.
Yeah, but if you look at her mom, like now we have a person that goes in the room after you deliver your baby. And so like if you say Caucasians but you're dark as me, that person that does your birth certificate paperwork is gonna be like, but that's interesting. Let's look for her birth certificate. Like
I
they was
always wanted
doing
to see
Obama.
it. I really wanted to see it. But if you're going by the phenotypes and stuff like that, literally she can say that. Genetic
Yeah.
makeups. You can. Not
Yeah, but
phenotype,
they're
but I'm talking
considered
about the genomes.
Asian. The East Indians, if she's gonna go with her mother, she would be considered Asian. Um, because Indians are considered Asian as a whole. So if it was
Well,
generalized, I don't even remember what that stuff looks
I'm gonna
like
shout
anymore.
out to Remiel and Tartino for this one, where they did the thing about it was the United States against Thang, and he was
What is that?
Hindu.
Okay.
He was Hindu, right, or Asian, and he was saying genetically they are more Caucasian than anything, and he broke it down, right? But the reason why
Okay.
he didn't win it was because of something about as what is it common sense. It was common sense. So they're talking about what you look like, right?
What you
What
look
you look
like.
like,
Okay.
what you look like. But when we're talking about the
Well, yeah,
the
because didn't
genetics,
they say that they actually came from them?
exactly. We're talking about the genetics. So my thing is I wonder if by any chance, I just want to see the birth certificate.
But
Show me
then
the birth
she couldn't.
certificate.
Well, I guess you can't. I was like, yeah, she went to HBC, but that don't matter. Yeah, so that
No,
is
that don't
interesting. Now
matter.
you got me wanting to see it. I'm like, I want to. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You wanted to see Obama's, I want to see yours.
Mm-hmm.
On some real talk.
And where the hell is she? She's never doing. I mean, Jesus.
She went in the corner, and I think she's in the corner waiting for Biden to die.
Well, remember last week when he went for that test, she was on standby in case something happened when he had his surgery. I think he just had a colonoscopy or something. Then I said, "Oh
Yeah,
Lord, this is it. They're gonna do old Joe so that she can become president. Help us, Jesus, help us."
I swear she's sitting in the corner somewhere just counting her like fingers, like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, just waiting for him to die. Like literally, because she's been quiet.
I was gonna laugh. That's funny.
She is quiet as a mouse about, you know what I mean? She did her whole little routine. I'm like, she was talking to Angela, what's her name? Angela Ray or whatever her name is. No, well, I'm saying her name wrong. But you know, the one that used to go with Common for a half a second. And she's always
Oh,
on like
the radio lady.
no, she'd be on the prime time stations too. But Angela something or other, but somebody in the chat probably knows her name. But she asked her,
Angela
who's your
Stanton.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
Oh, I don't
let's
But
see.
I
Ooh,
thought
just
I
she
let's
got
talking
get
about
to
her.
let's get off the name for a minute. Let's just get to the what happened. So she asked Kamala, right? She asked Kamala, who is your favorite like rapper that's alive? And do you know Kamala said Tupac?
Just wait. Oh no, 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 nope, nope. Stop. Well, the hell, she might know something we don't. There you go.
It's like, what in the hell?
She did. She said
Tupac.
alive, and she said Tupac. Lord help us all.
Yeah. I mean, they was dragging her for that for a long time. And
Oh,
just a lot of things that she did that was crazy. It's like,
Well, I mean, all of a sudden, nobody knew that she went to HBCU, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm an AKA, and you wasn't hollering that stuff when you was just a senator, or Congress, whatever the hell she was. You weren't
when she
yelling
was
all
over
that,
here giving us when
bigging
she was
up
over here giving us the business and
Howard then
exactly when she was over here
in
giving us the
California.
business
Yeah.
in California, she was doing us dirty. I'm telling you, she was locking up mothers, fathers, and babies.
But then look who she's married to. Yeah, your agenda's not with us, darling. And you hanging out with the likes of Epstein and all those great people, you and your friends.
Well, it takes Judge
Yeah,
Joe Brown. Like, I don't know if anybody ever watches him, and maybe people probably are not
I
like
do. Because
it's neither.
he
It takes him to
no,
talk about her. Like, it takes him to go into the history, like going back. You know what I mean?
if
He
people
brings
think
up
he's crazy,
every
but
dirty
he's just
deed.
blunt and he just speaks the truth, you know? Like, shoot. People don't like the truth. The truth hurts. Hell, we too far gone to be candy coating stuff anymore. People need to wake up and use common sense. I tell you, common sense is a rarity nowadays. Like,
Nobody wants to deal with the history of people. Like, certain histories of people, like, I'm not talking about like if you did some things in the past, you changed your life type of thing. I'm talking about consistent history, right? And
right,
even like when we're talking about dealing with white people, look at the history of the collective, how they moved, right?
right.
History is there for a reason, and I hate that because, like, I notice, like, when you have a conversation with somebody, it'll be like, well, why are you bringing up the past? Or, that happened yesterday.
Because if you don't know the past, it will come back. It's going to repeat
Exactly.
itself like it's doing right
It's
now. It's doing
exactly.
it right
And
now
it's there
because
for a reason.
right,
It's there
they
for
are
a
actually
reason.
taking out slavery. They're trying to take out slavery out of the schools. They're trying to mute certain things and to where these next generations coming would never know. I mean, no, I made sure I knew before she started kindergarten. No, you go into kindergarten knowing who you are, being proud of who you are, and this is what happened.
Well, they know that slavery was a very egregious thing. It was a very horrible thing. A
They just
very
want to move on, though. Let's just move on.
yeah.
Our ancestors did that. But it's over. Okay, well, how
And
come it wasn't over for the Holocaust survivors? It's not over for them.
or for the Native
They're
Americans, or for the Native Americans, or any other conclave of people who are getting reparations. And I just watched, like, the other day, there was this commercial, and I don't know where they were, but it was like, donate, and it was for like the Jewish community, and they're running their commercials to get their money, and everything's going down for everybody to get their money. And not too long ago, they sued like a railroad company because they transported, like, I don't know, I'm just gonna say 100, but it's probably more, because of their part of transporting them to one of those in camps, right? And so they
right.
sued the railroad company, and now they're getting money from the railroad companies. And I'm like, what?
Wow. Well, yeah, and it's strange. The only people in the world right now that I think that actually giving reparations and also things that the country stole from these other countries is France. And they've been actually giving artifacts and reparations to certain countries in Africa. And that's the only country so far that has actually basically realized, publicly admitted, and is actually trying to do something about it, which is interesting because it seems to me they're
Well,
extremely
I think England
racist
is
over
trying to
there.
give off some reparations too. England is, and Ben
Shit, if they
Tide.
did,
Yes, I listened
that
to
whole
them.
what you call the queen, all her shit be gone. All the stuff that her family just stole. They wouldn't have nothing in that house. Shit.
And just
Houses,
a
I should
side
say.
note, and just a side note, Yvette Carnell and Antonio Talks. I like listening to them because they come with the numbers, they come with the statistics, they come with the I never understood, like, when that happened between them and Tariq Nasheed, like that was a prime example of what I was talking about earlier when I was saying like this factioning, where we're saying ADOS and now all of a sudden we're foundational Black people. Like we didn't need that. We need to come under one moniker, say who we are, because we have to establish who we are, right? So whenever you come to a people or you're coming to a legislation saying we're this tribe or this, that, we need to come under one moniker. We are ADOS, or we are foundational Black people, and this happened, and these institutions participated in this, and we want X amount of money.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check them out. Yeah, it's a lot, but then we gotta scrutinize, because the false leaders and that damn bobblehead boy. What, man? Oh my God! What? Al Sharpton. He is a snake.
Al Sharpton.
And yes, I'm like, why do people stop showing up places? He don't represent us. No, he does. He don't represent us for nothing. And Jesse Jackson's behind too. He don't. No, he sold us the hell right out. No. So we got to get better. If it's leadership, we got to vet very well, because there's a lot of snakes that come to destroy things like Black Lives Matter. Well, destroyed and infiltrated real quick.
That was amazing. And let me just say this, I've been tired. Like, you're so right about Tariq Nasheed, in the sense that I'm going to speak to that in this way. I'm going to say this. When he had all those people donate to get that museum, okay, yeah, that's great. But why couldn't we get a whole bunch of people coming together to buy some land and then build a museum on that land with some houses and some other stuff and hospitals and some, you know what I mean? And some schools and things. I just couldn't understand. I was like, what? I could not. So yes, it was, the thought, though, in a way was a good thought. It was just on a very low scale, is what I want to say. It says, check Taz's show. Wait a minute. Check Taz's show out from earlier today about some Mountain GA. Mountain GA. What is that?
Stone Mountain.
Huh?
Stone
About
Mountain.
Stone Mountain?
Oh, Stone Mountain. I'm sorry. Let me put my glasses on. Okay. See? There I go.
What's the channel name?
Taz show.
Okay, I can read it now.
Yeah.
You mean Taz exclusive, or are you talking about Tariq? You said Taz.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out too.
Oh, okay, Taz exclusive. That's what I thought. They've been tearing him a new one, Taz exclusive, but he did a good thing on Stone Mountain. I'll check it out. But yeah. So like Tariq, he should have been like, look, we're gonna, there's some land over here. I don't care if you start in Oklahoma or you start in you know, somewhere.
Yeah.
Timbuktu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But check it out. Check out the check
I,
out the land, see what the minerals are looking like, make sure you can get the mineral rights as well, because if you're buying the land, you should be able to have the mineral rights, all that kind of stuff. And get the land.
but people, I mean, we've got to get together. I remember when they did that, the Million Man March, the first one, and I guess in DC there was a black bank that was going under, and Farrakhan had asked them to each man to put $5 in so they can go buy that bank and save the bank. And I guess he didn't meet the quota. And even when Gaddafi had told Farrakhan that he would give the money for us to have wherever we chose to get land, and we see what happened to him.
Yeah.
So they don't. There any way they can stop us from doing this, they're going to do it. So we have to be strong. The people messing around gotta stay back. Keep the
We
snakes
do
away.
have to get the scammers from out of our midst, but we need to stop as Black people looking for the perfect man or the perfect people, because we're not going to find it. None of us are perfect, and some of us have to do some atrocious things in this killing field, okay? But if there's somebody or people with good heart, right, and good intention, and they can get them dollars, get those dollars and get the land.
Right.
That's all we need, is the land, and then we can build on that land. We have so many people with skills. We have so many plumbers and construction men and women, right? We have builders. In my family, my uncle, he builds houses and stuff. My other uncle so in Arkansas, we have land out there, and we have a road that is named after our family. There's the street sign, that's our family's name, and everybody who live on our block is family. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And all those houses was built by our family. That is not a hard concept.
Yeah, but see, we have land out here in Texas and Lovelady, and we were talking about doing the same thing, because right now we have most of the people are on my grandma's side of the family that are living in this town, and the land, we were saying the same thing: build some houses, and just build it up, But then those houses and the other things will be there and for family, and nope, getting them together, another $5 thing. They don't want to, that's something that is going to appreciate in value, No,
Well,
they don't want to do that. It's hard to get some of them together.
I feel like it only takes a handful. Like for instance, okay, I'm gonna throw her name out here, but just follow me on this yellow brick road. For instance, Oprah Winfrey, right? Now, Oprah Winfrey decided she wanted to open that girls' school way over there in Africa, and I don't know what the hell she's doing over there with her, because I really feel like
I know what she was doing over there.
You know what I mean? Because she was hanging with the pedophile kings, okay?
Right.
But
yeah, I know exactly why she wanted to go over there. Yeah.
But just imagine, say, like an Oprah Winfrey type, or people of that ilk, right?
Right.
That they came together with their monies, and they had like the mindset of, say, me and you, right?
Right.
And you could have bought land upon land. You could have did it in a quiet way, where you could have sent out somebody who looked like them so that you can get the good prices, right? And nobody would have known that it was you doing the damn thing, right? So that you can buy up blocks or buy up parcels. I'm going to say parcels, not blocks, but parcels of land.
God, I was just thinking that and then they can be, and they have all that money, they can actually finance it themselves, and you buy the land or home or whatever from them, and then open banks and school. Yeah, Tyler
And just
Perry,
you do,
her.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just do it in a very quiet way. You put a face out there, right? You take one of your so-called allies, since you say you got them, and you put that face out there and let them, and you run the play that way, so that by the time anybody even knows anything, you have bought up all this stuff and you have created, I want to call it Descendants Town or something like that. The town of descendants or something, like, I was thinking of names because I think big in my head and stuff. Like, if I had all this, I would do this, but I would name it Descendants, the Township of Descendants or something like that. Or come with something. Somebody can come with something even more better than that. But I'm just saying, name it. This is a township.
A bit tired. We were talking about that earlier. We were talking about the election and and being on the same page so that we can prosper and get further, and leaving the blue essers behind, and the clowns and the coons and the all that. Sorry, excuse my language, but they're out there.
And then they did, I was so mad how they did Ice Cube, because, okay, so Ice Cube went on Boyce Watkins, right? And I was like, they literally deleted my comment from the chat. I said, why are you up here, got Ice Cube up here, and you can see his heart is in the right place. You can see that he really wants to do something, but you are not helping him in this when he doesn't know the numbers, he doesn't know the stats. Why are you not allowing people like Yvette Cornell and Tone Talks and different people like to come into the situation in this conversation and help this brother? Because if he's going to talk to Trump or whoever the hell he's going to talk to, he needs to know what he's talking about, and he needs a force behind him that knows what he's talking about. They're talking about, right? They literally deleted my comment from the chat. Like, I paraphrased what I said, but it was along those lines. And I'm like, what? Why would you delete my comment from the chat if you're so all inclusive? Am I not a Black woman communicating? It just like they were so happy to have Ice Cube up there, but I felt bad for him, because you could tell that he was trying to express himself, but he didn't really have the words, like the proper words for what he was trying to say.
He's another one that they keep railroading.
Exactly.
And
that's the problem.
It's him and another Black guy that was trying to buy some cable networks, some cable stations, and they had all the capital and everything, and they wouldn't sell them. And it was for sale. They wouldn't sell them to him. I'm trying to think. It was him, LL Cool J, and somebody else that were going to buy these cable stations.
Right.
And they keep railroading them.
Well, that's because they're not doing it in a way. You have to look at the playing field. That this is chess, not checkers. Okay, this is chess, not checkers. Sometimes it's checkers when it's one-on-one, but this is chess. We got a whole bunch of moving parts in this situation, and so what you need to do is get somebody to like a secret shopper type of thing, a quiet shopper to go out there under the guise of one thing when it's really something else.
Right.
Because you have to put you have to put a white face to the situation, or a Jewish face, or whoever ally you got, and let them go out there and buy the properties. It will be under you because it will be under your business and so and so, but you have to make sure that the business somehow doesn't openly show that it's you. Right. So that you can, and we had my grandparents had to do that when they bought their house.
Yeah.
When they bought their house,
somebody did that. They were saying somebody had did that with property and bought up a whole bunch of property, and they never knew who it was until like years and years later, and they were like, "What?" is pissed.
Yeah, like
Hot
my
about it.
grandparents had to fight to get their house, and then they had to send somebody in, a white person, to, and that's how they end up getting the place, because they showed that there was discrimination. They didn't want my black grandparents on their lily white block.
Right.
And then as soon as they
Yeah.
moved in, it became the white flight thing.
Yep. This everybody started moving out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
show on Prime. Oh my God. What is the name of it? It's on Prime. It is really good too. Oh my God. It's actually about that. Um, and oh my gosh, how they treated this family when they moved into this neighborhood. Girl, they would sit on the people's lawn and turn the music up, and I have to find the name of that show.
when you find it, let me know so I can watch it.
Yeah.
But I kind of think I know
the
what you're
depiction
talking
was
about.
so real. It was so real. Whoever did it did an awesome job of depicting what was going on then, and it was in California too.
Well, people don't understand that California is one of the most racist states. Like they think California love and California sunshine and all that kind of stuff, and they think we're so easy breezy, and we're some dingbats floating like helium balloons in the air. But no, this is racist battleground 101 over here.
They just hide it, and the ones that hide it are the most, to me. They're the worst racists. Tell me if I know what I'm dealing with. Yeah. But the ones that hide it and smile on your face and
oh yeah, they got that part down really well. But just like I think maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I seen a white man in a big black truck out, because I'm in California right now, and he had a big black flag out of his truck, and it had "Don't tread on me" in white with the white snake. And I said, yep.
Yeah. So
you
you
showing
letting
yourself.
me know. Yeah.
Because that was the flag for California. Don't tread on me, that snake. And that right there, when you see them with the shirts that say "Don't tread on me," or if you see that, or they say something to that nature, that's their code speak for white supremacy, heightened, not light, but white, they're
Out
really
now.
with it, out and out, like there ain't, and they don't mind doing that in California. I don't know why people don't realize, like, California had the most KKK what do you want to call it, parties or divisions. It was very high. So I don't know why people don't know that about California, and they don't understand. Like, I think they don't understand Californians or Black Californians. I think they might think we're all gangbangers or some kind of crazy stuff. I don't know what they think, but what they really need to understand is that we've been living in Ku Klux Klan territory for a very, very long time, and we understand it to its fullest.
Yeah.
We know it, and when those good old Texans and down south people moved to California thinking it was going to be a great day, my grandfather would tell you he passed away, but luckily my cousin, she recorded him, right? And so we have kind of like a home recording, and she actually posted it on YouTube too. But my papa was talking about it. He was talking about how when he came here from Texas, how he was told it was going to be all this, that, and other, and he took a chance, and he said it was worse than that. Like it's like he just jumped out of the pot into the frying pan.
Oh my God! When you see this show, it sounds like your grandparents' life. This show that I'm trying to, it seems just like, and it shows you all of that. Yeah, they the the strength that our people have. There's nothing that we can't do if we just put ourselves together, and that's what they're afraid of. They know.
Oh yeah, because they've been afraid of us coming together. They, COINTELPRO, when they came with the fear of a black messiah. See, they made it as if it was one person, and they did that intentionally, wrote it that way. But they did state the truth of what they're fearful of. But it's not a black messiah. It's a black collective, which can be a messiah, right? A collective of people. And they don't want us to be collectively together. And that's speaking to like a Ben Tide when he's talking about, Byron Allen and Boyce Watkins and all that infighting with Yvette Cornell, and at one time they were good and they're not good, and people are just like, that's that what I was saying earlier about the blueprint of them. They've been playing on us having division amongst each other for so long, and we keep like falling for it.
Well, yeah, and then they strategically recruit some of us, like the Boule. Those people are strategically placed to displace us.
The bourgeoisie.
They're
and then
picked. And then even if you look at what's going on now with people like Nature Boy and Young Pharaoh. My thing with Young Pharaoh is I noticed his decline started when they kicked him off of the CPAC or whatever, that conference. And to me, ever since then, we've been all kind of BITCHs and everything. Everything's our fault. Everything's a black woman's fault. He's called us every disparaging thing ever. And I said, I wonder if this dude is doing this thinking that it will please these certain people so that they would bring him back into their fold. So that means
quite possibly
strategically placed to distract us.
Quite possibly, because anytime you just make an about face like that, look, it's action and reaction, and things just don't happen for no reason. You know what I mean? Right. Even on the smallest.
Look at Nick Cannon. Look how strong he was in his, his blackness and what he believed in. And after he said that stuff about the Jewish people and they canceled him, he shucked and jived. Because you look at his show now, he's like a big goofball. That's not Nana. That's not what he stood for a few months ago.
Well, Nick Cannon, he should have never sat along with that guy, and he should have never sat with that Jewish man like that. I don't know if that man was a rabbi or whatever he was, but he went there to speak for his people. And if Nick Cannon doesn't know all the history, then he should have had somebody there to help him.
They control your industry. They control music, movies, anything in that industry. They pretty much control. So how did you not know?
He just wanted to save his show. What is that show called? Wilding Out.
Yeah.
He was trying to save that show, and then now he has this little talk show he's doing now. I don't know if it's supposed to be in place of Wendy Williams or what, but I was.
But look how he acts. He doesn't. That's not him. That's not the Nick Cannon I know. He's a big goof. You know what I mean? It's like he's making a mockery of himself, and that's how he got back.
Off of how he was dressed. He looked like Urkel.
Yeah, it's like he's making a mockery of himself, and that's the way he was able to get back into the. But that's not his
your turban.
Right. He was so strong in what he believed in and talking about us, and now it's jumping around and running.
Well, he didn't want to. He was trying to save himself. He didn't want to stand on that. He didn't have confidence enough that his people would see him through, meaning us as a collective, right? To really come with that fire. Because if anybody knows the history of the J people, right? You should know that they were the primary slave owners, and
Oh, yeah.
they had townships, but they changed their last names. So you'll see them in the manifest and stuff under they'll have like Spanish last names or even Irish like last names, some kind of
They'll go
European last name,
European.
right? But they're actually the J people, right? So we're gonna call them the J people.
Well,
And
supposedly the queen is supposed to actually be Jewish, and her family supposedly changed their last name to Windsor, which I believe is a German name. But that's a whole nother story because I think they're trying to connect themselves to some other stuff. The Israel thing, you know what I'm saying?
they probably
So I
are.
think that like the storyline because no. All of a sudden your bloodline is connected with the David from biblical times is what they're trying
So
to
they're
say.
trying to go all the way back. They're
Right.
trying to go all the
But
way
then that would
down.
justify why they invaded Israel and pushed those people out. So I mean, yeah, I'm not believing it.
Oh my God.
Plus, if I'm not mistaken, they believe that Adolf was one of her father's illegitimate children. Not her father, her grandfather. It would be her grandfather. Yeah.
Really?
That's why they're saying you remember her uncle abdicated, so she was not really not supposed to be
He
queen.
was real.
So, but he was a sympathizer with Adolf.
Yeah, he was.
And that gave him a lot of bets as well. But why would
and that
you?
American woman that he was tied up with that he ended up marrying, but he abdicated the throne for her.
For her, right?
Yeah, because she was married, divorced, got divorced or something. They didn't like that, and so he just gave up the throne. But then him and her were rolling around kicking it with the A people. Yeah, with the Nazis.
Right.
They were you see all kinds of reels with them where they were just meeting different generals and stuff like that, and they were entertaining them, and I'm like, oh,
they have a picture of her as a little girl doing that symbol, so who knows how long that had been going, before
exactly. Well, what they need to be advocating for is trying to get all that damn that intertwining of their bloodlines out of them, because I mean, there was a few of those babies they have locked up somewhere else because of that, because of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see those boys. They was like, no, we ain't going there. And that
like,
one, even William's wife, she's not even, because it used to be, if I'm not mistaken, that they had to be connected. If they weren't related, they had to be connected like a lady or like their fathers had to be knighted or something. Some kind, you were connected to the royalty some kind of way. Hell, what Kate is not, none of that. So they like,
but they daddy is with their cousin.
Charles, that's right. I did see that.
That's his cousin.
And she's never been. I don't know. Love is love. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Okay.
Neither one of them is attractive, so it makes sense for them to be together. It's like ugly.
Like you had Diana. She was realistic. She was cute, at least.
I don't know if she was really cute.
But he had to marry her because of something with that. Back then it had to be, you had to be something with the royalty. So I think her father was a duke, maybe. He was like he worked for their grandfather or whatever, or Queen Elizabeth's father. And he gave him a title. So it had to be something like that, you know.
But
And
they
then you
weren't
can
blood
marry that
related.
person.
I thought
No,
I
they
thought
weren't blood related.
okay.
Him and Diana weren't. But she was connected because her father was given a title by Queen Elizabeth's father or something, and he worked for them for a long time. Something to the, because she was actually a lady, I think. She had a title before she married him. But
Well,
they
I know
weren't
the
blood
mama
related.
never liked her, Diana.
Because she wasn't going with all that crap.
Mm-mm.
As you
See,
can
that's
see,
the
she
thing.
ran her mouth. She told all they business. Shut up, baby. And she,
Well, they need to work on breaking up that bloodline, because that bloodline, see that what's her name with that half blood, she helped them out a little bit.
yeah, but some kind of ways they did their blood thing, and like her dad's side is related some kind of way. I mean, you know, Meghan Markle.
She's related to them?
You know, like down, like her father's side, when they do those, like the ancestry or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like now they say these celebrities, like Madonna's related to the Queen, and Barack Obama, and what's the George W. is, they're related, they're cousins, and so
Yeah.
if somewhere down the line her father had, you know, some ancestor down the line, but I see what's his name, Harry. He said, "To hell with this."
Yeah.
The Queen, what she needs to do is get that son and turn his ass in, because he was messing with that little girl.
Oh yeah.
He's
He
in there
was.
hiding, running behind her, so that he don't have to get those subpoenas. And
They're protecting him.
they talk all this mess about that girl, Meghan Markle, and I'm like, that's the least of your worries, honey. It's out. It's been out. Charles was friends with some man over there that was horrible. He was a monster. I mean, he would procure, literally, like they found it out and everything. But he was they even knighted him. They gave him a title. He was always at the Queen's house. And now this dude, Epstein, I mean, it's a pattern. You know what I mean? Like, come
They
on.
probably ain't no
But you
telling
want
what,
to talk
like,
about this girl and Harry. They said, we out of here. And they still
she
trying
was
to
smart.
divert.
She was smart to get out of there. He was smart. Like they said, forget it. And then they don't get, like, the son doesn't get no title. Like he doesn't get to be a prince or nothing like that. They just gave it all up. Like, what, leave it alone. Like, and that's probably the best thing they did, because you got a whole bunch of inbred pervs, like they're like some perv stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know what
Because
I mean?
that whole family line, it's a thing on YouTube that I watched, and it's one man, and I think it might be the Queen Mother's grandfather or father, but anyway, he had all these kids, boys and girls, and each one of them married into royalty all over, like Spain and Switzerland, and so all of his kids, that's how all of these, like, they're all related, like.
Right.
Queen Elizabeth is cousin to the Queen of, or the Princess of Monaco, and all this stuff.
Right.
Because that one man, all of his kids married into royalty. And then they go and marry each other. I don't know. But they said her father didn't want her to marry her husband. Probably for that reason, but shit. Kind of too close.
He didn't want it to happen?
No. He was against her marrying Philip. I believe that's his name. So he was.
I don't think it's because of the whole cousin thing. I think it's because it might be something else, but I doubt it, because they've been doing that stuff forever. Like, why would you all of a sudden be against some inbreeding when you've been doing it forever?
Right, and that was to keep the bloodline, whatever, pure.
Like pure, and then they start having all those defective babies and stuff, and like I don't know if it was one of the kings of Spain or something like that, but like his jaw was so elongated that he couldn't like close his mouth, and he was kind of like crippled and stuff. Like if you look at the history of how that inbreeding has like messed them up, and then like even mentally they were like they were kind of like, I don't know what's the word. I don't
Just
want to
slow,
say like
not all the way there.
it's beyond slow. Like it's not even, it just messed with them mentally and some other things, and they run around there mad as a hatter over
Yeah.
kingdoms.
And they said they had some kind of blood thing, like the hemophilia. They said
yeah,
one of the
hemophilia or
princes
something like
died
that. Yeah.
because they were closely related, not like third cousins. They're like closely related.
Yeah, they had a lot of blood issues. They still do to this day. And when you look at them, you like, ooh, like you could tell something is not right. You know, like
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't
like,
know
why
what
would
happened to
you?
Charles. He's not an attractive
He
person
looked
at
like he
all.
gonna fly away any day now. Just
You know,
take
her
off
other
flying with them
kids,
ears.
all of the other kids were okay. You know, they're not, but him, bless his heart.
Yeah, he looked like
Yeah.
Dumbo. He gonna take off flying any moment, and he
They
might
say he
not be
got
able to
teased in
land.
school a lot.
He might not be able to land because if a good gust of wind come along, he's gonna get caught in a tree somewhere
Oh my god!
or be stuck
I
on
need
a
to stop.
mountain or whatever. I don't know, but he cannot. Like he need to go on and fly away. And he looks a hot mess. But that's like that's
So you
their
guys,
whole situation,
well,
huh?
y'all were talking earlier about that the verdicts of the two verdicts. I think I was listening
Oh
and driving,
yeah.
and you had said something, and I didn't think about it because at first that first one, the Kyle Rittenhouse one, I
Hmm.
wasn't really following it only because I'm like, it was his own folks, and then one of them they said was a convicted sex offender. And I was like,
One of the guys
so I
he
wasn't
killed
really
was
paying
oh really?
attention to it. But when you said what you said, I was like, you know what? You're right. You are freaking right
They
about
sent out a dog
that's the
whistle.
message. Yeah, that was a message.
Hmm.
That was a message to, like you said, the sympathizers.
If you
Yes.
sympathize with
I didn't
anybody
think of that
black,
at first. At first, before you said that, I was just like, I don't give a shit. That's the little folks. But
see, no,
when you
but
said that,
I haven't heard anybody talk about that yet, like from that perspective.
but yeah,
And
when you said that, I said, "Oh my god!" Because he didn't even get charged with having the gun, did he? And that's illegal.
mm-mm. He didn't get charged in
So,
any kind of way. Like everything. Like there's no point even going further because he's free. He's free of all
right.
charges. And everybody, like black people, we're all sitting up here talking about, well, he killed his own. It's like, nothing for us
Yeah,
to be thinking about. I get that. But what you
right.
need to think about also is that dog whistle that went out.
Yes, and honestly, that's exactly how I thought about that one until when you said that, I got to thinking, and I was like, he didn't get charged for shit, not even illegal possession. And yep, I believe you are absolutely 100% correct.
When you think about it, he's 17 years old with an AR-15. He's traveled across state lines. He went to a place that he knew that they were protesting the assault of a black man who, at that time, we weren't certain if he was going to make it or not. Right?
Right.
He's still alive, but he is like confined to that bed, right?
Oh my
But
god.
that's why they were out there. That's why they were out there, all those people. And the people out there, how it be made, that the fact that they're white, they were there in protest of the assault or
Right.
the gruesome assault on a black man. So they are black sympathizers, right?
Right. Right.
And so that's the thing. they sent the dog whistle out to say, if you over here sympathizing with these niggas,
Yeah.
you deserve to get shot and killed. And guess what? Ain't nobody gonna mourn the loss of your life because we're gonna lift them off, and everybody gonna go back to living their little lily white lives like they were doing yesterday.
But you'll think twice the next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll think twice with your, black sympathizing ass, bringing your white ass out there sympathizing for these Negroes.
Oh my
So
God. Yeah.
it was a conversation they were having amongst their own people, true enough.
Right.
But also let you know, because a lot of black people, whether we realize it or not, we do depend on these so-called allies, right? Or
Right. Well, yeah.
or the people come out and they say, hey, we're tired, our race is tired of this happening because you're messing up our businesses, acting this way, or you're doing this and that. It's like causing hardship with us. We got people in our family that are black, like we're sick of it, right? But they want you to know that this ain't over, this is gonna continue. And if your white ass get out there and sympathize with these Negroes, you gonna get shot and killed, and ain't nobody gonna do. There ain't gonna be no justice for you. Period.
You're gonna tie up, and that's it. Yeah.
And that's
Damn.
gonna cause them to stop. Rolling. They're gonna stop doing it. Especially if they start hearing all this chitter chatter about, oh, they killed their own. That's not nothing to do with me. They're gonna start thinking, well, if that's how you feel, then I don't need to speak up for you.
And if you think of, here we go, repeating history again. The people during the civil rights movement, they were getting the same treatment. But then a lot of those people were the J people.
Exactly.
For whatever reason,
it was a
were
repeat.
there. Yeah. And what you're saying, I'm like, oh my God. Yep.
See, we just seen a repeat of what was going on in the 60s and 70s. If you was really paying attention, it was just basically showing you exactly what happened back then, because all those people were out there, the J people and white people and stuff, and they were getting water hoses and stuff turned on them, and some of them was coming up missing and stuff, and being terrorized and everything. You know what I mean?
And then it was the voting, and they were coming down to sign. Yeah, they were getting killed just then.
Exactly.
And
so they just
said that if you don't know your history, it's doomed to repeat. And here we are.
Exactly. And so when you start seeing this, and then you see how that judge moved, he was just letting you know, no, we alive and well, and y'all asses can get it too.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Because you got this white privilege and you're afforded your protections, but we'll take them protections away if your white ass jump out there for another, for an N-word again.
Unbelievable. I think we need to stop being so dang nice too.
It's crazy. He was protecting, that judge was protecting that boy all through that situation.
Sure, all the way.
And see, that's when you see an exercise of power. He was exercising his power. And now a lot of black judges need to take heed to the situation too. You seen this white man who's a judge exercise his power. And when your black butt get up there and you got a black person before you, you need to exercise your power, not in a way to impress them and not in a way to appease them and make them feel good, in a way to support your own, because that's what he did.
Not like Kamala, okay? Not like her. No, not like Kamala.
Okay.
We're gonna do
that's what he did. That white judge supported his own. Did he not?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah,
We're not gonna
because that boy has a whole future in doing what his shit. Yes, absolutely.
Now that was a black judge and a black boy,
and knowing he's gonna turn around and do it again. Because he didn't learn. He didn't learn from this
lesson from it.
He didn't even give him a year, no probation, nothing.
And I guarantee
he should have been charged
with
owning that firearm, with having it.
I guarantee you that judge probably reached out to him on the back end and probably told him, you know, this conversation can never ever come out, but I want to let you know that I'm proud of you and call this number because
Absolutely.
the Knights of the Hoo Hoos or the Neo Wuthawaka's,
Well,
we
you
need.
see, when he was supposed to be on house arrest or something, he was in the bar. He's not 21 with the good old, what is it, the good old boys or whatever the hell, in the bar. And he was violating his release because they weren't telling them where they were. They were supposed to stay at some kind of, like they had them in a safe house or something. And he was going out in bars with the people. Listen, he didn't get charged for that either, huh? Nor did I hear that business got shut down for serving a minor. Although the pictures were everywhere. I don't know. Sorry, so. You hear me?
Sorry, you guys,
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you sleep? I
but
know it's late where you are.
oh,
It's
Yemi
okay.
went to sleep while we were talking.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
probably
I
did
think,
take a nap. We
yeah, I
just
think I did.
Are you shutting down your panel now?
No, no, it's okay. I'll stay up for a little while longer, and then yeah, because the conversation is also good. I didn't want to interrupt it.
Oh,
We've we've been talking about everything, but I got cut off because somebody tried to call me. But I was just trying to say, like, you know, they had a backdoor conversation. That judge reached out to that young man. That's probably how he said, "Young man, I want to tell you you did a good thing, and call this number because the Brotherhood is waiting for you." That's how it
be
went down.
remorseful. Cry when you get on stand.
Mm-hmm.
Pretend
And
you're
he
remorseful.
now he's gonna join his conclave of brothers, and they're gonna be plotting for their next terrorization of a black person.
Absolutely, because he did not learn. No lesson
Mm-mm.
there.
You know, and his daddy. How your daddy didn't know you crossed state lines with that gun?
Oh,
How your mama
yeah.
didn't know? You see what I'm saying? Like when our children go on trial and stuff, they be like, "Your parents didn't know. Do
Right.
you come from a single family home? Well, you don't, ma'am. You don't know what your son is doing. How do you not know your son crossed state lines with an AR-15? How would you not know that?" They
They're about
attack
to
the
charge
parents and
you for
everything.
not for child endangerment and da da da
Hmm.
da.
None of that happened. None of that happened to him or his family. And they've been inducted into the you know, whatever they call themselves, the Brotherhood of No Good. I'm gonna call them the Brotherhood of No Good. They've been inducted.
And you guys know they have HBO has that new series. I think it's called Black and Abducted or something to that effect.
Oh,
It started
well, I just thought of young
yesterday
Pharaoh when you said that. But go ahead.
with the aliens. So it started yesterday, premiere yesterday, but it's going to be a series on us missing black people.
Oh yeah, that's
Soledad
good.
O'Brien is doing it. Um, you know, it's sad it has to be on pay television, but finally we have a platform to just spotlight us, us missing.
Yeah, because they've been snatching people up in Chicago for the longest. I told you those two doctors, they were a father and son team. They were snatching up black folks and taking their organs out and selling their organs, and they snatched them up and got them in prison. I forgot their name because I did a post on it a long, long time ago. But you know, it kind of flew under the radar. People are like, "What? When did this happen?" You know? And but yeah, it was a father and son doctors, white, and they were snatching up black folks and selling their organs.
I
Hmm.
think somebody opened the damn portal in Chicago because it's hell out there. Like,
It's the killing fields. Because even if they're not killing each other, just like take that off the board. Because that's that whole proximity thing. Like, black people in truth don't really kill no more than white people do. Like, constantly, white folks are killing each other every day too. But I'm talking about, you have a ground where it's a free for all for predators. You see what I'm saying? A different type of predator, where
yeah.
they are literally snatching women up and men and women. Because see, at first they were talking about the women, but they did a census or a data poll on the men that were coming up missing, right? Just fell off the face of the map. Nobody knows where they are. They're missing. Period. That's because they're out there harvesting their organs and stuff.
Yeah. Underground.
I'm
Wonder
trying
how
to tell
that
you.
dude that I think he was a Rockefeller. He lived to 103 or something, but he had 7 heart transplants. Now you know how hard it is to wait when you need a transplant on that donor list. How did
He
you
must have
have
had money.
that? He was a Rockefeller. Yeah, Rockefeller
Yeah.
Plaza. And all
Oh,
that.
Rockefeller. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. He had
But
money.
seven hearts. You got 7 hearts. You waited on that list for 7 hearts and lived to be 103. Get the heck. Yeah, that's the underground. That underground organ.
And they realized that the black heart, the black organs, it's the melanin. I'm trying to tell you, whatever's in us, it's the better body parts for them. They want a black person. And so that's why they want you to sign up. So like when you like say you get in an accident and stuff, will you donate and will you donate? I be telling black people, say no. Nope. We didn't donate it enough. We're donating and then we're not, and people don't even realize it because they're stealing our body parts right now.
This is a crazy world.
And they're gonna give your body part to a person who don't think two craps about you, but will pay that money because they know that your body part is the best body part to have.
Basically, Get Out, he was telling that shit in an indirect way. Get Out was all about that.
Exactly.
People were thinking, oh, it's about, these black men. They went, nope, it's not. It's it's about how much you cost on the market for certain body parts.
Exactly. It was the takeover too. The takeover. And then they lured them in with their women, right?
Yeah.
And so and that brings me back to YP as well, as to say young Pharaoh is he out here talking all that craziness. Now let me say this: every culture or every living creature has its counterpart, right? Every creature, everything, every animal, every being has its counterpart. So why is it that black men are promoting the separation from their counterpart, where everybody else is with their counterpart and trying to be with their counterpart?
Because they think
you know what I'm saying?
Ingrained that it's better. They've been ingrained and it's been banged into their heads that it's better. You've arrived.
But what the bigger question they need to be asking themselves is, why are you trying to keep me from my natural counterpart? Why would anything or any being try? Like, I'm not going to try to keep a lion from a lioness or a penguin from a female penguin.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Why would you try to keep me from my natural counterpart? That's what I be saying. These people be agents of chaos.
I believe that. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
And they're placed strategically to do what they do.
So I agree with you, because you said that earlier, and I really agree with you, because it makes no sense. Like, it makes no natural sense. You know what I mean?
Like, how do you go from one what the black woman has gone all the way to we are everything under the sun but the name of God.
Okay, just
And
we
it's all our fault because of us. It's all our everything. It's our fault. Every single thing. And
well
I
now
want to
he
be able
found
to tell
himself in a
him in
world of trouble now.
person, yeah, you have mommy issues, and no, that's not every black woman's fault because we all did not birth you. So you need to take that up with a counselor or your mom or something. But it's a distraction. And I think he's really trying to appease, like Angela Stanton and not Angela Stanton. What's the other girl's name? Oh, I can't stand her. What is her name? She's supposed to be
Um
Republican and all this stuff. Not
um
Angela.
um
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens,
Okay,
yeah.
she is what he's trying to do because he sees what her and the people like her are doing, and they're pleased with them and they're prospering. Well, if I start talking about black women and we know they can't stand black women, maybe they'll suck me back into that fold.
Yeah, he was trying to be on. See, he was on the Chitlin circuit at first, right? What I call the Chitlin circuit was like him and what was the other one? Oh my God, it was like a whole conclave of them Negroes talking about the black woman was God, like the polites and all that stuff, right? The Chitlin circuit. That's the Chitlin circuit, but he was trying to make it prime time.
Right, and he would have
That's
if he would have did that. If he'd have did that CPAC conference because he was speaking right before Trump, he'd have been
mm-hmm,
over. He'd have went
mm-hmm.
all the way. He'd have crossed all the way over.
He would have, and
But
he been right there with Candace Owens and the rest of them. And that
right,
what's it called? Something new that she started with all those damn young Republicans.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. He
and
would have
then
been right there with them.
everything that he doing to that poor little girl now, he'd have been doing it anyway.
Oh yeah, he was gonna as Kanye say, leave your ass for a white girl. He was gonna do that. He did do it. He did do it,
But
but he didn't make the he,
yeah,
he
he
didn't do
did
the
do it.
he did do it, but he didn't make the move in the right way. See, what he's supposed to do is that he was supposed to hang in with Golden Beauty until he couldn't hang with her no more. Got in, act like he had some sense, but start talking like crazy. Which I would have been like, the Republican Candace Owen type of way. You do
Right,
it in bits and pieces. You kind of like say little things and test the temperament, and then you go full throttle, but it's like pieces by pieces, and then you start like doing little weird things like, oh, a night with Candace Owens, and then you interview
right.
her and stuff like that, and then you start interviewing those two twins. I forgot those twins are. Them two fools is off the chart too. They be rolling with Candace Owens too. They're two twins, two black guy
Angela,
twins.
he tried to do it with Angela, but Angela is not. She's still for her people. She just has more Republican views.
Well,
So that wasn't his.
he could have started with her, and he could have crossed
He
over, but
did. He did. He was doing some talks with her. They did some kind of lectures together. And then when he had that trip, whatever he was on, whatever drugs, and when he was talking about the government's trying to get him and stuff, Angela Stanton was actually on her way to his house. And then he
oh
gonna
my
call
god,
her back talking about, don't come over here. Don't come to my house, Angela. Don't come to my house. Yeah, so he was. But see, she's still about her people. So that wouldn't work. If
see, no,
Candace Owens,
he
and
needed to be
she's too
dealing with those
bougie right now.
twins. He needed to have been dealing with those twins and that Jesse guy and those type of people. That's who he
Yeah.
should have been, like pandering to. And then that would have crossed him all the way over. But he had to do it. Like he could have started with Angela, which he did, right? And then he could have gradually
Crossed
jumped over
over.
there. You see what I'm
Now,
saying? Like he
somebody
just needed a
gave him.
stepping stone.
Yeah, he got on. So he said it was shrooms. I've never seen, and I've seen people take shrooms. They're more hippie-ish, like the mellow love child type of thing, not that stuff that he's been doing. So I think it's a little bit more
He's
to
on
it.
something else. He's on I don't know what the hell he's on, but he's on
It's
some
something else.
psychotropic that's got him acting real stupid.
'Cause I
You
ain't
know.
never seen nobody on shrooms act like that. They're more, yeah, man. I like, hippie type, like, like they think it's like a thinking mellow. I'm like, he said he took some what the hell? They put something in
It's
them
like
shrooms.
it's a love
Yeah.
child drug. You know what I mean? Like, ooh. You start
Right.
seeing
Now
Puff the
maybe
Magic Dragon, Puff the Magic Dragon,
maybe they used
live
some
by
acid
the
and he didn't have a
sea.
bad trip. But I mean, yeah, jeez.
He on
Boy.
something else. Like he really something is like hardcore.
And it started with that girl. Didn't he say they brought it in the house? And all of a sudden,
Ooh.
you lost your ever the one he's with now.
Oh. See that
He
part,
lost his.
I might have heard it and just don't remember, but that's interesting. It's registered
he-
now. So it was the girl
all
she
that
brought
money.
it.
That's what he said. All them damn lies he was doing. And they brought in the house. They gave it to me. It was their fault. So he
this is
admitted
my
that he
problem
said it
because
was
I
theirs.
kind of like listen to him but don't listen to him. Like I just kind of peep in for the like, oh, okay, he's still doing the
Yeah.
fool, then jump out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I do know like he's doing the crazy.
But he didn't went too far now. So yeah, I don't know why he thought he could get on there and threaten lawyers and put bounties on people's heads.
Well, y'all,
You just got off probation for a gun charge. So how did you not know that they were going? It's,
girl, because he, you know what? He owns something big time.
I'm gonna
But
tell you
look,
what they told. When I moved to Texas, and I went to go trade my, get a Texas driver's license, and my uncle went and he went to get his license, and they looked up, because they got to transfer everything over, and I think my uncle might have had a warrant in Colorado, and they said, Mr. Price, you have a warrant in Colorado. And it's like, no, I didn't. And I guess, it was probably traffic or something. But he's like, well, welcome to Texas. Here's your license. Don't do it here. It's the same thing they said to Pharaoh's ass, and he did it. So he going under the jail. Okay.
oh my God.
Plus, he's a felon. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be a certain kind of felony. You usually have to check in here, even if you're not. It might be if you're still on probation, maybe. I don't know. I know that certain felons have to let Texas know that you're here.
I think it's like maybe if he's like a sex offender or something.
No, it's like people like, okay, the people who might have been dealing. Like those type of people, they have to announce what they're coming here. But it might be probation.
Well, I
So he
definitely
was
like
off
if you're definitely on probation or something like that, you definitely have to let people know because you have to have your probation or parole officer or whatever. It has to be known.
I think it was just if you're still on probation, but I'm sure they told him the same thing. Welcome to Texas. Don't do the same shit you did, and he did it.
He's retarded.
With a gun charge, you couldn't bow. You talking about, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna clip you or clap something, whatever slang. You have a gun charge, so the DA is gonna say, well, he just got off probation for that and was charged and went to jail. So I have every belief that he would do it. That's all they need.
Well, look, y'all, I have to get off of here because they texted me and telling me to come up in this kitchen to help with stuff. And
oh, you gotta help with the food.
It's going
what
down.
What happened Thanksgiving, Saida?
Thank you. I just don't understand. Like, I ain't been bothered so much. But you gotta love family. You gotta love them.
You better go have cook. I already know. Luckily, my uncle's cooking tomorrow, so usually it's me. So I know the feeling. Usually I'm
It's
here
gonna be
doing
a
something.
lot of people, so that's why it's going down like this. But I didn't know it was gonna be
That many
hectic.
people.
Yeah, like hectic. But I've been on this live for a while, so I have gotten a break.
Yeah.
But it's my turn.
All right, ladies. Well, this was awesome. We have to do it again.
No, where's Yami? Did she go back to sleep?
She done.
No, yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Yami, go to bed.
Yeah,
Yami, I gotta get off and finish cooking and stuff.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I did actually doze off. Actually, you was right.
If you do
All
live
right.
tomorrow, I'll try to pop in, but I'll be in and out like YouTube because there's gonna be a lot of people, and it's gonna be a lot going on.
No, it's okay. Cause I know you gotta get through the Thanksgiving thing. So yeah, I
Yeah,
just wait for all that to pass.
because we
All
don't
right.
we don't celebrate Christmas or nothing like that, and really Thanksgiving is not like really like a celebration for us, but it is like a day that we do like because everybody's off of work or whatever, so we just go ahead and go there and
Like
have
a
a family
reunion.
affair.
Mm,
Yeah, but it's not like we like celebrating per se. Shoot,
yeah.
I
Kind
want
of
to
like a
celebrate
family
something.
reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of
that's
like
kind of how we
a
do it
family
too.
reunion. Yeah, exactly, like a family reunion, basically.
Okay.
But I have fun tonight. This was nice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah, yeah. You covered a lot of subjects for me, so it's okay. So no, the parts I did miss, I will catch up on because I actually did drop off to sleep, literally. But
All
yeah, but it was a good conversation. Next time I'll try to schedule it somehow.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Let me get out of here. Bye, y'all. Talk to y'all later.
right.
All
Good night,
right.
guys.
Good
Bye bye.
night. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was beautiful talking there. Even I fell asleep. My bad. But yeah, I'm literally gonna get off here. Literally. Until next video. There was a feather of information spoken by the women, so I didn't have to come in. It's nice when people have conversations and I don't have to sound my voice. So, with that said, I'm going to come off. Have a good night. Please like and comment. Please subscribe. Obviously, some things you may agree with, some things you may not, you may disagree with. But yeah, just comment and give your opinions as well. And it's nice having Miss Wise and Saeed up. Hopefully, we get the rest up little by little to hear their point of views and stuff as well. And yeah, you know, yeah. With that said, I'm gonna literally come off. Literally, I start sound like Golden Beauty now. I'm gonna come off now. So with that said, later.